Jesus, thing's all dusty. Shows how often we do this. And I say every single time that I'm going to get my shit together and get consistent, and it never happens. But what is up, mother truckers? It's really bright in here. I'm not sure how this is going to look on camera, but it's the middle of the afternoon. It's like almost 1 o'clock. Super glad to be back. Glad to be able to get over to this side of the house. As I'm sure everybody knows, I had a little bit of a crash, a little bit of a spill, but all good. All good. We are on the sort of the back end of the injury now. I'm starting to be able to get around and actually do some stuff. The first couple weeks were brutal. I'm sure we'll get into that later in the episode. I haven't seen I never see Miriam anymore besides when we do this, so I'm sure I'll explain the whole thing to Miriam, and you guys will get to come along for that. Today we have our good buddy Jayo Archer. Just landed a bronze medal in XGAMES Best Trick, so we're super stoked to talk to him. I had dinner with my girlfriend, and I had dinner with him and his lady last night. So I got to talk to him a little bit and just sort of find out how he's doing and how he's feeling. But he's got a lot to talk about, so I'm excited about that. Yeah, I'm glad to be back. I love doing this shit. I've got a lot to talk about. We've got a lot going on. I met Bert Kreischer a couple of days ago. That was a hell of an experience. I met Jason Ellis with him. They're under the same management, so we'll get into that. And, yeah, I've got to say, actually, I have something from him right here. My good buddies, my shoulder. My good buddies from Claiborne Company brought over this little toolbox for me. I've got to say, this thing has been an absolute lifesaver. They're the coolest. Like, they're next level with their branding and this type of shit. I think this thing's just like a family and friends athlete type thing. But they brought this thing over fully loaded, all the gold cuts. All the gold cuts that you need. A little lighter sleeve. I've got myself a little pack of joints in here. And then little cards on each strain and whatnot. Little code in here for you. And yeah, I mean, let me tell you, these guys have been an absolute lifesaver. Like I said, we'll get into it more later, but I got myself off of the meds pretty quick. The meds were just absolutely driving me nuts. They were not doing good things to me. Just resorted right back to my normal, just smoking weed, ripping bongs, and smoking joints. So this has literally saved me. Like, not just that it's Claiborne, but just the guys taking care of me like they do. And Claiborne has some of the best performing, best quality weed that I've ever tasted or smoked in my life. So that's not even just an ad. I mean, they are the homies. They take care of me, but literally they really do put out some high quality shit. So if I were you guys, I would go over to Claiborne's website and get yourself what you need to feel good and sleep good and feel good during the day and, feel good after work, all that good stuff. They have what you need. The stuff is no joke. It's top quality. I haven't found anything better or that I like more. So shout out to Claiborne. This is the most boring part, but I'm just going to kind of go through a couple of the people that have really helped me out through this whole thing. Motorsport.com. They have been a huge help to my program. If it wasn't for Motorsport, I'd be probably really struggling to get my bike back going. So shout out to Motorsport. If you need parts or gear or whatever, and if you want it fast, go to their website. They'll get you all taken care of. Awesome customer service. If anything ever happens, they'll get you taken care of. Tagger Designs. I have 2 new helmets. coming very soon. I'm going to send them both to Tagger. Tagger gave me my helmet that he painted that I unfortunately somewhat destroyed. So both of the new ones are going to go to Tags, and hopefully they will be as sick as the last one, which I'm sure they will be. Oakley Motorsports. Oakley takes very good care of me. They are the best sunglasses and goggles on the market, without a doubt, hands down. If you want to look the coolest, wear Oakley. If you want to go the fastest, you got to look good, right? So Oakley's what I use, and I never want to wear anything else. So I would go ahead and order yourself some shit from Oakley and tell them I sent you. Good for both of us. Fast House has been an absolute huge help to my program. Those guys are absolutely immaculate over there. The gear is next to the gear's next level. It looks the best, performs the best. And if you need gear, definitely go over to Fast House. Hold on. Let me get you the code. That way I don't fuck you guys up here. All right. So go over to Fast House's website. Use the code FHMediaPub30 at checkout. And you will get a little discount off your order, which who doesn't love that? And you're getting a discount off of the best shit ever from Fast House. So shout out to those guys for taking care of us and helping taking care of you. Cherby's Era for the best graphics ever. DID wheels. I've talked about them before. They are, they're like the best wheels made. I'm pretty sure the Dirt Stars are. They help me out, which means you should support them. MXBoot.com. MXBoot.com is the shit. If you don't want to buy a brand new pair of boots, if you're just getting into riding or whatever the case is, go to mxboot.com. You'll buy a used set, pretty good condition, way cheaper. They also have a whole bunch of other gear, and I am working with them right now on a little project, if you were paying attention before. And I have a new company who got my other helmet. I'll get into that at another time. It's my buddy George. George is the man. He's a big supporter of what I do, and we help each other out. George also has a podcast called The Dirt Life. If you're into off-road, definitely go check George's podcast out. He's on top of everything he does. He puts out really good stuff. Who else do we got? Terra Crew is going to take a part of the new helmet. I'm super stoked on that. More off-road shit, bringing into the moto side of stuff, which is super cool. I love doing that. CTI knee braces, they definitely saved me on my whole thing. I might be coming into a couple new sponsors. I haven't really finalized that type of stuff yet. I'll be using the Red Eye power bank to charge my phone during this podcast and during everything like I usually do. I literally pretty much don't even use a phone charger anymore. I pretty much just use that Red Eye thing. It charges my phone way faster than a phone charger does. I don't have to sit right next to an outlet. I can just lounge wherever I want and charge my phone. It's the most convenient thing in the world. I think I got everybody. As for people that help, I mean, there's a lot of, no, I definitely didn't. There's a lot of other people that help out my program that I'm probably forgetting, and I really apologize, and I'll make sure I get it back to you, or pay it back to you. Every time I sit here, I just go brain dead sometimes and forget, especially when I haven't been doing it a lot. But everybody that does help, I appreciate you. Just know you're very appreciated, everybody that's part of the program. It is 1:30. I would assume the boys will be here any minute. I know Dylan said his ETA is 1:35, and Jayo said his ETA is about 1:35 as well. So they should be walking in within the next 5 minutes. We should have a bunch of good stuff to talk about. X Games. I know Jayo rode a new dirt bike yesterday at Paula. We'll get into what he rode. I know it wasn't his usual gas KTM or whatever he rides. He has a weird looking front number plate on his bike, so I'm not even sure exactly what he rides, but we'll get into it. We'll figure it out. Shout out to everybody that makes this happen. Like I said, everybody that supports this program. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to do this. So anybody that I listed before, go support them if you support what I'm doing. That fucking movie I've been talking about forever is finally out. We'll get into that a little bit as well. And yeah, episode... Fuck, I don't even know what episode it is. Good thing I'll figure it out later and put it in the title. But yeah, we're back. Enjoy this episode with Jayo Archer.
Yeah, it's fucking $3,000 one way.
Oh,
That's just
way?
That's just LA to.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, so still like $1,200-$1,300.
No, it's like more than that.
It's like half.
16 or 1800 US.
Oh,
1800 US. But that's only that's LA to Sydney.
Yeah.
Like, so if you got to go, it's going to cost me a fortune to get home because I got so much fucking weight. It'll cost me fucking $4,000 or something to get home, probably.
Because I was looking for I was looking at flights for like the end of December, like right after Christmas, to there, and they were like 2,500, 3,000 round trip.
Yeah.
Though.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's not
yeah.
that bad then.
How's that?
I was like, I want to go there, but I feel like it'll be expensive getting there. But once I'm there, it won't be too bad.
It'd be cheap. It'd be real cheap when you're there.
Especially if I come see you.
Yeah.
But
no, it'll be cheap.
Getting there is what's expensive.
That's the hard part. Hopefully by the end of the year, I fucking live here though.
Yeah, I don't want to. Let me come visit you here.
Yeah, that's my goal.
30 minutes, not hours.
Is that your plan?
That's definitely the plan. I think it's always like, I've thought about it a lot over the years, and it's always in your head you want to do it, especially being a moto rider from Australia. It's like always your dream to get over here, but now I think it's becoming a lot more realistic that it could happen because there's just not as many opportunities at home. You know what I mean? Like if I go back home, I'm just going back to my normal job. There's not really any events, any shows. Like there's just nothing going on there. Yeah. And yeah, I mean over here, there's just opportunities to just keep doing things, riding with good people, and all the sponsors and everything. So I think, and Travis is doing a lot. He's going to be going pretty big with his YouTube stuff, so that gives me another reason that I can be here doing that and make some money from there. So
another avenue for some bread.
Yeah, and just to keep doing shit. I don't want to go home and go back to work. I just want to keep doing, even though I've only had a week since X Games, not even, and I'm like, fuck, when can I start doing things and hurt myself in the airbag again? And
right. I miss getting hurt.
Start thinking towards new shit.
Yeah, I just hate a week off is enough for me. I'm keen to get back into it.
I also gave him a fat offer from Aquavibe Pool Services. National pool company, so he's got employment here.
Man,
he's got opportunities.
I'll do that. I'll tell you, I've done some in the last Beth can one up. In the last couple of years, I've done some interesting jobs, man. I've done a bit of anything and everything.
Yeah,
just to make that money.
I think Male Stripper was the best one. That was cool. A little Magic Mike.
I worked at a sewage fucking plant for a bit. I wasn't at a sewage plant. I was doing non-destructive digging with a big vacuum sucker truck and drain cleaning with these big trucks. But we got sent out to this sewage farm, and I was standing in a 6-foot pit, and I had rain boots and everything on and a suit. And I was there with this big 6-inch hose vacuuming up, and it was just poo and wee, fucking gnarly, man. And then
sounds so.
I went there. It was only a couple of days after I'd landed my first double flip to dirt at a competition. I got first place there, and then it was the Tuesday after that. I was back at work at the shit farm.
Shit happens.
Shit happens. Shit way to get back into it.
That is.
But all right.
So what is what do you have to go through to end up here full time then? Do you have to go through all the visa bullshit and
vaxxed? Yeah, so you gotta get vaxxed. Oh, you are vaxxed, huh?
I'm vaxxed. Yeah, we had to get vaxxed in Australia because
that's right.
They took it pretty serious. We couldn't even go to buy groceries or anything without that. So
that's so crazy.
Yeah. So I've got all that, but I guess the biggest thing is the visa and everything. But I've been lucky enough to meet a friend over in Maryland, the guy that owns a van that I drove over. So he's able to help Beth and I out with a visa, and even probably give us a bit of work just to kick things off. So that's, to be honest, that's the hardest part, and I've already kind of got that sorted. So he's
good.
He's a really good dude, and he's like, man, I'll help you out. no worries. Like, you don't have to stress about it. So
Sick.
That's kind of the hardest part as far as what you need to go through to get here. I guess the other stuff is just figuring out what you're going to bring and how to get all your stuff here.
And pulling the trigger on doing it.
Yeah, and then,
it's like,
and then
well, it's
just
on me
trying
now.
to figure out, like, I'm still at the point now where I do need to find some work over here, obviously, to make ends meet. That, or I could be potentially 1 or 2 sponsors away from not having to worry about that and just focusing on riding. But I'm happy to work and do whatever I need to at the start just to sort of make things work, and then you can go from there. But it's all like, it's, you think moving overseas is a hard thing, but when you break it down, it's not really that hard. You just got to tick every box.
Right. You got to make sure everything's handled.
Yeah. So yeah, it's it's exciting. It's definitely exciting to think about. So hopefully next time we do a podcast, I'm living 5 minutes away.
Yeah, no doubt.
Or upstairs.
Yeah.
What is the current state in Australia? Like, how is it pretty back to normal?
Yeah, it's pretty back to normal. It is in most ways, but I think just the country has changed a lot since COVID and everything.
Kind of pussified.
Yeah, there's just a lot more rules, and I don't know, people have just changed. There's just so many things that you can't do.
Yeah.
Like you're always, even riding, everyone's got a compound, in their backyard, or people who had a track or whatever, like the council just shuts it down. Like, it's just, and that's not because of COVID, but just over time, the rules are just becoming more and more strict. So it's harder to do the things that we want to do. And, how bad can it be riding a dirt bike in your backyard with all the right safety gear? It's like, what about, it's actually a good thing that kids should be doing if they have the opportunity, opposed to hanging out on the streets and, doing the wrong thing at night. So it's just, the country's come back to normal, but it's like...
It's a new normal.
Yeah, it probably won't be like it was. I'm pretty lucky now living on the Gold Coast. That's probably the most relaxed place since COVID. But back where we were living in Melbourne, Victoria, that's still, it still sucks a fair bit there. Like, we're the most locked down city in the whole world. It was like 2 years or something on pretty much on house arrest. So,
I remember hearing stories of dudes leaving their house, and then the fucking feds would just show up and sit there and wait until they got back. And
it was pretty wild.
take them to jail for it.
Yeah, that stuff just drives you crazy. Especially, I've got a pretty good case of ADHD, and I get a bit fidgety even just sitting down or driving my car. So imagine being locked in your house for 2 years.
Yeah, no doubt.
And you're not making any money or doing, not even you're not even allowed to do exercise, go to the gym, nothing like that. And that's kind of one thing I like to do to blow off a bit of steam, or just to kind of get in your zone. But yeah, it's kind of like being in jail, but I feel like in jail you have more fun. So at least you can hang out with people and get in a fight here or there, or do something. I don't know.
Arrange fights.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. At least jail, you're kind of fucked. You're in there for a while,
and you know when it's over. Like, usually you have a date. Like, hey, you're in for this long.
You have an idea, but that's true. That was just like, you really don't know what the future holds. Being locked in your own house is almost a weird thing.
Well, the hardest thing, and I got out of this lucky because I don't have a lot of big loans on houses and things like that, or my own business or anything. But there was people out there that have worked hard their whole life to start their own business, and then you're not allowed to go to work. You don't make any money, but you still have to pay everything.
Right.
And so many people lost their business, their jobs, their home. There's a lot of people, so many people I know, heaps of people committed suicide because of, that losing your job and your house, and then, they might split up with their partner or whatever, and, it just snowball effects. And it's like, how is it that you can't go to work, but you can still, we didn't stop paying rent and things like that. How does that work? What do they expect us to do? We're not made of money.
What are we supposed to pay with?
Yeah, I know. Money runs out pretty quick when you got none coming in.
Yeah, it's really hard to think that that's not a fuck job by the government.
Yeah, this doesn't seem right, does it? But I don't know, man. It's interesting. I try not to look into it too much. It's easy.
What can we do?
It's easy to get carried away, and I don't take any sides with, whatever people might think, like the conspiracies. I'm not for it or against it. I just kind of cruise because
don't pay attention to it.
Yeah, I'm like, I've got so much stuff going on in my own head about bikes and different parts and gearing and doing this trick and angles of ramps and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, I don't want to. I just don't have
I'm
the
not
time
worried
to worry
about all
about
that
that.
bullshit.
Only because there's nothing I can do.
Right.
Even
That's how I look at it. Like nothing I do will change the effect or what's going on. So why spend my life looking into shit that's going to do nothing but make me go crazy.
But I agree. I'm the same. But even, friends of mine or people I know that are right into it and have their, beliefs and stuff, it's not like I respect that as well because, as I said, I kind of just sit on the fence. So I just don't really get into it. But I'm pretty easygoing in that respect. But I think it's just time to get out of there and come and explore over here and see what's available. You know what I mean? There's so many good riders here and just so many different people to ride with and train, and the ramps are getting bigger, the tricks are getting bigger, and I kind of just want to be all part of it.
Yeah. Well, and the good thing is you have so many connections with all the best people over here. So
Yeah,
it's not like
cool.
you're coming over here blind, having to start something new.
Yeah.
You're starting something new, but you already have all the resources that you need.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm really fortunate and lucky in that way. So
Yeah, you can pretty much just come right over here and jump into the mix, which is
which
the
is
biggest
sick.
struggle.
Yeah. And he's friends with Jared, Bilko, Matto.
Right.
Yeah, well, so many Aussies
Yeah.
have already done this move in the past, so they've kind of
Paved the way.
paved the way, and you can kind of just try to follow what they've done. But yeah, it's cool, and even having you boys here, like if I ever need anything or contacts or whatever, it's a phone call away. You guys know everyone here,
Yeah.
and so yeah, it's pretty cool. I think it'd be a pretty easy and smooth transition. It's not like I'm moving to China and
Right.
you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
I've already done that. I lived there for 2 years, and that was pretty difficult. But
This move would be a lot better. I
yeah,
promise.
for sure. So now I'm excited.
So you're coming off of a bronze in Best Trip
Yep.
in Ventura, California. What were the emotions after that? Were you happy with the bronze? Did you think it should have been better? Or?
Yeah, no, man, I was stoked. To be honest, I couldn't have been more happy with the outcome of that. It was
Your first X Games, right? Technically,
First
because the
competing.
first one you got
yeah,
hurt.
second X Games, technically, but first time medaling. But yeah, I was stoked, man. Like there's always, everyone says it's always their dream to win X Games. I can't say it was my dream to win X Games because I just never thought that I'd be on a level to do that. So to say it's a dream come true, it's like, yes, it's kind of true, but I just never really thought I'd be in that position. I grew up racing motocross, so my dream was to be a professional racer. So it was, it was crazy. Like it was a difficult few days there. We had some complications with the FMX setup, and we had to make a lot of changes to make it work, and it was kind of off a little bit for everyone, but we're all, and we're all good mates and we're all speaking about it and we're all in it together. But everyone was pretty nervous, like not only to do their hard trick, but just to jump and get over the thing because it was a pretty hectic tailwind and the setup was kind of on a downhill slope.
That's what I heard. I heard it was pretty tricky.
Yeah, so I was just stoked to be able to kind of navigate my way over the jump and get the thing around. But yeah, it's funny, like when I landed the triple flip, that was, had so many emotions and that was pretty wild. But this one, I'm not going to say it's better, but it's just different because it's X Games, like it's just crazy.
Well,
I'm just blown away.
It's the pinnacle of freestyle motocross.
Yeah.
Well, and
so
it's literally like your one competition of the year.
Yeah,
like
that's
your
right.
one main one.
That's right. So I was stoked. Like I was kind of doing the math in my head towards the end of the competition. I was sitting in third place, and I figured out that it was only Jacko and Ronaldo that had runs to go, and obviously they were both already placed higher than me. So I was doing the math, and I'm like, I've got third, but I just didn't believe it.
I didn't either. Watching it, I did the same thing watching it. I'm like, I think he's got third, but I don't know. I'm not getting happy yet, but I'm so nervous.
I was just saying, like, there was no way I could have been bumped to fourth at this time because it was only the two riders left, but I still didn't believe it. And then once they finished and I was figured it out, I was just like, mate, I was stoked. I actually, one of the X Games ladies had to tap me on the shoulder and tell me to be quiet because I was swearing and carrying, because I was so stoked. Like, oh, fuck yeah. And they were filming like, I don't know, they were filming someone in the background and I was just going fucking mad, like loving it. I just couldn't believe it. And then it wasn't until like 2 days later, I said to Beth, I'm like, Shit, I think I actually get some money too from X Games. Like, I hadn't even thought of that.
I didn't think of that either.
But I didn't even like it. I did not care at all. It was nothing about that.
It was more so just.
It was just to be able to land the trick that I wanted to do and come out of there safely. But just to come away with a medal and stand on the podium and drink a black rifle out of me boot. That was kind of.
That was pretty sick.
Yeah, that was kind of it's definitely a highlight for me. But I'm already keen to get back to work. I've had a week. It's been a week or whatever now since X Games, but I'm already like, I want to get back, and I've kind of already got two different ideas in my head of what I can do next year. So I just kind of can't wait to get back into that. I just want to come back next year, and obviously I got a bit more experience now, and I know that things don't always go to plan with the setup. So you've just got to be prepared to kind of tackle, any obstacle you can. As far as the plans that you get leading into X Games, it's, for whoever, it's not anyone's fault, but they're not always going to be like that. So I think,
you almost got to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah, a little bit. That's exactly right. And I think, being more prepared next year, because I'll have a lot more time on my hands, I should be able to come back with something bigger and better, something that's never been done, hopefully. So, because this year it was, I had a good preparation this year, but I only had like 2.5 weeks, because I got the invite really late for X Games. Like it's like a last minute thing. So I hadn't planned on doing X Games at all. Like this wasn't even on my radar. Like I did reach out to them and asked, if I could be there, but it was like maybe 3 weeks before. And then I'm like, shit, I'm in. So I only had I think I had about 2.5 weeks on that ramp.
Damn.
Yeah. So, but I was pretty confident that I could at least double flip it, but I thought I'd be able to do a double flip combo as well. So I actually reached out to Eric Pennard, and I told him, I'm like, yeah, man, I'll double flip the next gen ramp. I'll get a combo. I hadn't even hit it yet, but I was just like, I knew I could do it. So I'm like, I've got to be there, because I feel like I can definitely do that. And he was cool. He didn't want to see any footage or anything, luckily, because I didn't have any yet. But yeah, but I had a good preparation, because I was at Travis's house and had Greg Duffy and Hubert and Banksy, and I had some guys help me out a lot with the airbag and stuff. So although it was only like 2.5 weeks, it was pretty good. Like I couldn't have been too much better. So the hardest thing was dealing with the heat and the humidity.
Oh, yeah,
dude, I was struggling. Yeah, I was like I had like electrical tape taping my gloves on to my wrist as hard as I could, because when I was pulling back, my gloves were like starting to slip off.
Jesus.
So it was that wet from the sweat. But it was
imagine that just going to pull on your fucking gloves.
Yeah, well, dude, I did it on one of the jumps. I had those lock on grips.
Oh man!
And I pulled back and kind of like got a really good pull, and then I squatted into the bike and then did a knack with a double. And just as I kind of extended the knack, the grip come off. Or like it was hanging on the handlebar by like 30 mil or something, like nothing. And I had to let go and eject those.
Shit.
And I was like, I was just going through. I knew exactly what had happened, because I just lost my hand, and then everything was done by then. I'm like, what the fuck happened? I'm like, so weird, because I'd been riding with that same grip, same handlebars, everything for like, a week or whatever. And I'm like, it's not like it was loose. Like it hasn't been touched.
Right.
And I took the bike. I kind of got up and I was hobbling around. The bike was pretty bent. And I took it back in, and the grip, I tried to see if it was loose or tight. The thing was just tight as shit. I couldn't even undo it. So it was just the force that I had that just twisted it off. So
wow,
that was that was pretty wild. And then
was that the one right before you came out for X Games?
Nah, so that was
did you
like
have a big one right before.
Yeah, I had a big one on it was on the last day actually.
Oh,
yeah.
I did. You posted.
Your bike is all bent up, your hands all cut.
Yeah, looks like I've been street fighting.
Right.
Yeah. No, I had like the very last day. It was probably one of the tougher days I've had on a dirt bike, only because I just had no more to give. Like I'd been training every day for 2 weeks in the heat and humidity and just getting beaten up on the airbag, and like I was struggling to even just to walk. My back was pretty hammered and everything, but I'm like, we've got to keep going. Like it's fucking X Games. I'm not leaving any stone unturned. But the last day we set the airbag landing up out the back, and I had like 2 or 3 big, I think two big crashes, like big dogs. And I was, one of the ones, a bike landed right on my back, and
if I got scary enough to potentially put you out of the.
Oh, maybe, yeah. It was. I mean, I was lucky because it was on an airbag, but where I landed, and then by the time I hit the deck, I was kind of already on the dirt anyway.
Yeah.
So, but I think I was just lucky. I was lucky. Yeah, I mean, all of us freestyle riders and motocross riders in general are the same. We often bounce when we hit the ground, which is good. So
I don't.
I go into the ground.
Yeah,
but I was definitely coming into X Games. I was feeling that sore, and I said to Beth, I said, I can't imagine there'd be anyone out there that's going into best trick that's not feeling sore.
Yeah.
And if they are, they probably haven't tried hard enough.
Right.
Because if you're going to do the biggest, scariest trick you can do, you have to be taking a beating leading up to it. And if you're not, you're probably doing something that you're either comfortable with or you're just not trying hard enough.
Exactly. They probably don't have something that's going to gold or
even
medal.
So
right?
I was, as sore as I was like I was stoked because I got through the day, and after those big crashes, we straightened the bike up, and I did go on to have a really good afternoon. I was out at the compound for like 14 hours or something that day, and then we packed the van and went to bed at like 1 a.m. and then started the 40-hour drive the next day. So it was good. It was good having a 4-day. Well, we did it in 3 days actually. 3-day drive to kind of relax the body, but also sit in the car for that long.
It's rough.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. So I was feeling a little bit hammered, but I don't know. I just fucking love it. If I could like rewind a week and just do it all again with the same outcome, I'd love to. Because just even when times are tough, and there was a few complications, like the night before X Games, I had no steering dampener because I bought one, but it didn't arrive, and at the time, I'm fucking pulling my hair out and going crazy, and I'm lucky my missus is the one that can actually settle me down. But even when there's all those complications, it's like that's just what makes it so much more sweet when you actually do come out with
everything works out.
Yeah, at the time you're going, fuck, what's going on?
Why am I here?
Yeah, but
now looking back, it's
and I mean it's always the way. You don't really, I mean anything.
Sort of just adds to the story. Like if it was smooth and everything went good, it'd be boring, right?
I mean, anyone that knows me well or knows part of my story, I've never ever had a smooth run anywhere with anything, and that probably won't ever change. But I just fucking love it because it just makes you keep going and not giving up. Yeah. But hey, that's all. It's just all a part of it. It's just why we love it. It's addictive. Right. You want to just always come back and do more and bigger and better. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited, and now that I know I'm in next year, I'm going to be coming back.
That's sick. It's nice. It's nice knowing this far in advance because you didn't even know 3 weeks prior that you were going.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you got the call, and you're like, "Well, I guess let's do it."
Yeah, exactly right.
But now you're like, "All right, I know I'm going."
Yeah, it's a priority
for sure. Like when I first came to the States, it was like maybe 5 or 6 weeks ago. I came for an event in Oklahoma at a facility called Mid America. So we did. That ended up being pretty crazy there too. Did a triple.
Yeah, it looked like there was a lot of shit.
Yeah, it was wild. Hey, it was like I kind of went in fairly blind. Like I didn't really know what I was going into because I had no information really about. Travis just called me and he's like, "Yeah, man, come over here on this day, bring all your shit." And I'm like, "All right, sweet." No,
you're gonna do a triple flip.
Yeah, everything that could have gone wrong at the start did, and it was no one's fault. It was just there was so much going on there, like so much things happening. The rallycross track was still being built. Like it wasn't done until the day of the competition. The people were working like 24-hour shifts. It was like a 12-hour night shift and 12-hour day shift to get things happening. So it was just there was so much shit going on, but that was cool and it was a gnarly event. And but yeah, after that I was planning on just going back home to work. And then when I got the X Games invite, I spoke to my boss. I'm like, "Sorry, mate, I'm going to be here another couple of weeks." So it was, kind of none of it was planned, and we sort of just winged it the whole way. But it all worked out. Yeah. It's kind of how I liked it. I don't really make too many plans. I just kind of figure it out. Yeah,
just roll with the punches.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before the X Games call, you were doing like so many triple flips, but when you decided like, "Oh, I'm going to do a double or double combo," like how different is it? Like, do you have to like really slow yourself down when you're doing triples and then you have to go back to doing a double?
Yeah.
Like how different is it?
I think it's a good question. And I think if I was doing a double flip on the normal super kicker, I would have struggled because I would have been doing 2.5 every, you know what I mean? Just because I'm used to that pull and the snap. But because I was going onto the next gen ramp, which was a new ramp to me, and a ramp that not only 2 other people have ever double flipped. So it wasn't very hard to make the transition because you do have to give it a pretty good pull and get a good snap off that ramp just to even get the bike around. And because we're double flipping at 75 feet with that ramp opposed to 45 feet, on that big gap off that ramp, there's so much forward momentum opposed to the triple flip or a super kick, a double flip. You kind of just go straight up and down. And that's the feeling that we're used to, the people that can do double flips. It's you pull and you tuck and you're kind of up, and then before you know it, you're right back down. But that next gen ramp was the cool thing about that was it just felt wild the first time I sort of started doing it, because you had that forward momentum, like you're pulling so hard, and then it almost, the first couple times, it's like you feel like you're going to under-rotate the whole way around because you're sort of blind, and then it's like, oh, it comes around pretty easy. So it was pretty cool to get used to that different feeling. But it wasn't really a hard transition, because I think over the years it took me to learn the triple flip and kind of perfect my technique and bike setup and everything, I learned a lot over those years and figured out how to really get that thing spinning fast. So the biggest issue I had, the biggest thing I had to fix, I should say, was slowing them down. Because I was like, on that next gen ramp with the bike setup I had at the start, just with the gearing and stuff, I could easily do 2.5 flips and land on my back. Like, they were coming around so easy. So I actually had to like detune the bike with some sprockets and different ignition settings and stuff, so I could get that good pull and that snap that I'm used to, but just so I could slow it down, because thing was coming around.
So you're almost relying on your own pull rather than the bike getting you around.
Yeah, because it's hard. I was like, I was telling myself, to pull less, or take it a little bit more, easier. But then the other thing that's in your head as well, it's like you're coming into this ramp that's a lot flatter than normal for a double flip, and you got 75 feet gap. So it's like, and you got to get the bike around twice. So you still do have to pull pretty hard.
Yeah. Right. And you don't want to under rotate.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So I think I was able to kind of keep my same technique, which I'm really happy with. And I was able to just kind of make change the bike to work out. So, but in saying that, it gave me some cool kind of ideas with some other stuff, because I think the first time I hit that next gen ramp into the airbag, I double flipped it at like, I think I was going like 85, 90 feet or something the first time. And it got me thinking, I'm like, that was just in second gear. And I'm like, what's to say you can't do a 100-foot double flip? Like, you could. I was only 15 feet off it. Yeah, right. So it kind of got me thinking, and I'm like, oh god, geez, that'd be cool.
Double flip the 120.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, when did they didn't have a 120 this year, right?
Nah,
didn't they previous years?
At Axles.
Yeah,
Axles. Yeah, that would be.
That's what Julian won the best. Whip on,
that thing was gnarly. But that was kind of cool. It got me thinking, and then also with the fact that I could put a bigger rear sprocket on and really get the thing to over rotate, that was a good thing to know as well, because it just means that I have time to add like a bigger combo, so bigger than a no hander, which is cool, because that's definitely what I want to try to work on for. Not only for X Games, but just to be able to do
in general.
I just think it's such an amazing ramp that like Levi Sherwood built, tested, and designed that ramp, and it's pretty sick that X Games are now having it part of the event, because it just opens up the door to do new tricks, and even some of the tricks that have already been done on previous ramps. But it's just so much gnarlier when you're traveling 75 feet.
Yeah.
So I think it's definitely opened up the doors for some cool stuff. And even the guys doing best whip, man, like those things, it was gnarly.
They're basically flipping.
Yeah.
Best whip was pretty intense.
I was, you could probably hear me because I was standing just behind you, but when that was going on, I felt like I was a little kid. Like I was cheering, you don't often see many riders cheering like I'm a fan.
You're a fan just as much as you are.
Just as much as anyone, but I was pumped watching that, because like
I was too. I couldn't even help it.
Yeah, like Tyler's first whip of the event was, I think, the one that won the whip that won it for him. Like, it was fucking gnarly.
Either the first or the second one off the next gen.
Yeah, off the next gen. Yeah, like that.
It was pretty early and. Yeah, that one where he just squatted.
Yeah, man, it was like I was stoked. I was jumping up and down and going mad.
And that one was a good one, because it was like by the end of it, you could have given it to Tom P.
And I know.
You couldn't be mad.
Yeah,
it could have went to Behrman, and you couldn't be mad.
Yeah,
and even to the point that like
even Julian
was right there.
Yeah.
Patrick had some good ones.
Dude, yeah.
Like, it's sick as fuck seeing like 5 different guys.
I know.
Almost be able to take it. But like Tom P and Behrman's were like literally just a flip of the coin.
Yeah.
Like,
that was super
whatever.
Close. Tom P, he's such a good dude. Like, I hadn't really ever kind of had much to do with him. Just hadn't hung around him,
he's
basically.
He's humble and chill.
Yeah, he's like the nicest, most humble dude.
He's a mad dog. Like, we rode out at Jared McNeil's house a couple of days before the event, and I'm just sort of hanging out with him there for a few days, and then at X Games, like, yeah, he's a legend.
He's funny,
and he's
because
just so good on a dirt bike. It's crazy.
So much bike skill.
Yeah, he's funny because if you were to like meet him at a grocery store or something, you would like if he didn't tell you what he did,
Yeah.
You'd never
you'd
guess.
be like, yeah, that dude's probably like, I don't know, like maybe a photographer.
Yeah, but that's what
maybe a school bus driver. Or something.
a
absolutely-
vet rider.
I absolutely
like, I
love.
don't even
I
know
love
what.
that about him though. Is he's extremely humble for one,
He
but
is.
he's just he can rip on a dirt bike, and he rips that hard. He doesn't need to tell anyone that he rides it. Like
No.
he just lets his riding tell it for him.
Yeah,
you know what I
his
mean?
whip style is so incredible, and then he
Yeah.
has like, I mean, when he does it, he literally where we were standing,
Yeah.
he would be fully upside down
He's
to
look-
the point that he's looking at us.
He was
but
look-
his
yeah.
head's upside down.
I
Well, it's so
know.
Like-
smooth too.
It's
Like,
sick.
so
There's-
fluid.
There's like no body movement.
Nah,
there's
it's
no
sick.
like, there's no like whipping or snapping.
And
like,
the cool thing is too is like you said, how he's fully upside down, looking kind of over. I've seen a few photos, and honestly, if you didn't know any better, you'd just presume that the rider's doing a backflip because
Yeah.
the bike is,
Yeah.
especially from side on, maybe not from the back, but the side on photo, the bike's completely upside down, and it would look like if I was to do a backflip off 75 and just slightly turn my head.
Hi.
go, Morgan. Why? Why would you let him do that?
Cut. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, what the fuck? Yeah, you can.
We'll cut that out. What the fuck?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like,
She knew we were doing this. I don't know.
yeah,
Control the damn dogs. What? Fuck! I had something in my head that I wanted to ask. How? Like, what is it going to take to see a triple flip in competition?
at X Games.
Yeah.
Couple years.
I mean, to be
Because
honest,
there's no way you're doing it off of next gen, right?
no, that's just not possible at the moment.
Mhm.
Who knows? Some mad dog might do that in the future. But I mean, the only thing it's going to take is it's actually pretty simple. It's just allowing the ramp to be used in the competition. So, and having the correct landing ramp as well. Because if things are a little bit off with that, it just can't happen.
Yeah.
I've learnt that now with just some different things that I've faced. Even if the ramp's a couple degrees out from the ground not being level or whatever, it makes a big difference. Opposed to other tricks, if something's kind of a little bit out, you can normally tiptoe around it and figure it out. But with that, because you're using everything the bike has and you're using everything the ramp has, and we know what works and we know what doesn't work. So if something's a little bit off, it just won't happen. It's the difference between 3 flips and like 2.75 flips.
Right.
So, but in saying that, I do think it can happen at X Games for sure. But the ball's in their court with that, and I think and I've already reached out to them and showed interest in potentially making that happen. Like I'll do it if everything's there and it's right. I'll do it for sure.
How does that work necessarily though? Because if they were to bring that setup in,
Yeah.
and
Well, it needs to be fair for the other riders. Is that
right,
what
like
yeah.
are you the only one that's going to use it?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think
And win gold.
I think that's one of the biggest things, and it probably wouldn't wouldn't be fair. I think if I was only using it because
Mhm.
the other riders have it, they might potentially want to do that. So that was another thing I mentioned to the guys at X Games was if we
That's like a weird position to be in because it's like for you,
You're the guy that can
you're
do it.
able. You're like really the only one that's able to do this one trick besides maybe Sheeny, or
Yeah.
Harry, depending on if
Yeah.
you would want to go back and do
well,
that again.
I think the way around that is, and I've put a little bit of thought into this, and I think that if X Games were interested in going down that route, and what we would do is, with a good amount of time, like, whether it be 8 or 12 months in advance, I'd submit them with the ramp plans, the drawings, and then they can send that out to each rider who's going to be participating in Best Trick, so that if anyone is interested in jumping the ramp, they've got the plans, they can build it, they can test it, they can jump it, whatever they want. And I think that would make things more of a fair playing field, because I definitely don't think it would be fair if I just rocked up with this ramp that I jumped that no one else has, because that's crap.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know if.
Yeah, because there's only one, right? It's yours, or maybe a couple now.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
Essentially, the only ones are pretty much for you.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So that it's not hard to make. It's only like a modified version of a moon builder, which is a ramp that we use with Nitro Circus. So it's not hard to make or anything like that. So there could be more out there. Who knows?
Yeah.
People,
But fair is might not be the right term, because it's also like, it's not like these guys don't have the opportunity to, like, you know, they all have, they almost all have access to a compound or whatever.
Oh, for sure.
And the resources to build one.
For sure. And
right. So if you have the resources to all that, you probably have, you know, I would assume most of these guys have the resources to get to one of those ramps if they were like, hey, I'm ready to do a triple backflip.
I would think so, because, I mean, for me, you just get you just find the plans. Everyone has the plans for a moon builder or whatever ramp you want. It all started with me. I just drew it on a piece of paper.
We might have talked about this the first time we did the podcast.
Yeah.
But what was, like, what were your first steps to starting it? Where, like, did you just wake up one day and you're like, damn, I can get a double around really easy. I could probably get a third around.
The first steps were after I landed my first double flip to dirt. It was maybe a couple of weeks after, and I was out at Cam Sinclair's birthday, and we were out drinking beers and carrying on. And he kind of just said it joking around. He's like, "Why don't you try a triple flip?" And I'm like, "Yeah, well, whatever." Like,
yeah, sure, buddy.
That's what you do.
Tomorrow morning.
Another beer, dude.
Yeah, and then we didn't speak about it for the rest of the night or whatever. And then I think either I called him or he called me a couple of days later. I think I called him, and I'm like, all right, I'm pretty serious about this. Like, where do I start? And I kind of just started with, I just drew what I thought would be a good ramp to start with on a piece of paper. And then my buddy Josh Glynn, who owns Freeform Action Sports, he just got the thing built, and we just tried it out. And it was, at the time, like after I did it a few times, I was happy with where I got, but I knew that wasn't the ramp. And at the time, I thought things needed to be so much bigger, and I thought that I was kind of way off. But
so when you were trying it at first, what ramp was it off?
Just a random ramp that I drew on a bit of paper.
No like real specs or anything. Just something that you thought could get you.
Yeah,
gotcha. Okay.
So it was a cool ramp, but at the time I thought, damn, like I'm probably pretty far off, and you know, now knowing what I know now, I actually wasn't that far off with that ramp. I was actually pretty close, but
you just had a little minor.
Yeah, well, I kind of then went on a bit of a journey with the big ramps, like that. Travis designed a really, really big ramp that was, thinking of it now, it's stupid how big that ramp is.
Yeah, but coming from Travis's brain.
Yeah, and I was, that's where I broke my femur on that ramp, because that thing was like, man, it was massive. It was, I was going 100 feet in the air, and I was going 65 feet in distance, and I was third gear wedged on a 450.
Oh my God.
And
off the top of the ramp?
Yeah, it was gnarly.
Was that the one that Sheeny tripled?
No, so it was an even different ramp again.
Okay.
It was just something that Travis designed, and he sent it to, I think he sent the plans to Sheeny, myself, and Harry Bink.
Sorry, not to get too far off here. Remember where you're going with that. But how comparable is that Sheeny ramp to, like, your triple flip ramp?
Nah, yeah, Sheeny's is totally different.
So long.
Because that ramp was ridiculous.
That ramp was wild, and Sheeny's a wild man. But that was kind of, I mean, that was like a one-off. Like you couldn't have replicated that again in a show or a competition, because the way it was built into the hill and the way that setup was. So I think, you know, and after watching that, like I was blown away. I couldn't believe it. Like no one could believe that someone had just landed a triple backflip on that setup. But
let me actually keep going. I'm just
yeah. But after watching Sheeny do that, you know, and once I started showing a bit of interest in that triple flip journey, my goal was to be able to do it, you know, in a show or a competition, but be able to do it again and again and again and travel around the world and do it. So I just kind of wanted to figure out how I can downsize that setup, not to be, you know, not to make it, I mean, it's always going to be dangerous, but obviously downsizing it, it's going to be a lot safer too. And that was obviously a goal, was to have it so it was safe enough that you want to do it, you know, time and time again.
Exactly.
And then it can fit inside a stadium or whatever. You know, you don't have to...
You don't have to build it outside on 100 acres of land.
Yeah, so that was kind of... Yeah, we just kind of went down that rabbit hole, and it took me a little while to figure out what that ramp had to look like. But then, now going back to it, it's actually not that far off. The ramp I'm using now for the triple it's not that much different to the first ramp I drew down on a piece
That's
of paper
pretty
when
funny.
I had no idea what I was doing back then.
No knowledge.
No knowledge because I hadn't done anything yet.
Yeah.
So I knew how to do a good double flip, and I knew I could spin them pretty well. But as far as triple flips, I had no idea. Like I just was gonna wing it. But yeah, it's interesting because it's it's pretty close. I'd like to maybe. We've still got that ramp, the original one in I think it's in Victoria at my buddy's place, but I would maybe like to go back one day in the future and go back to that ramp and see if I can pull a triple flip off it now. It'd be pretty interesting.
That would be cool.
But yeah, it's kind of crazy what Sheeny did. Like it was, I mean, it's very crazy, you know.
We're so fast.
Yeah.
Well, and it almost seemed like my roommate and I were literally just watching it a few days ago, and it's almost like he gets the second one around and he like realizes where he's at and he lets off for a second, and then just gets back on it to like get that last third one around and just he lands.
It's crazy. Like so, Sheeny has a different technique when he's in the air to what I do with the triple. So I'm sure if anyone's seen the videos of me doing it, I'm on the rev limiter the whole time, just keeping that wheel spinning and keeping the momentum of the back wheel because that's helping with rotation.
Are you wide open when you're doing that?
As fast as the thing can go. Yeah,
Gotcha,
it's wide open. But Sheeny has a method which works good for him, and rather than holding that throttle on the stopper the whole way, he was going on, off, and the idea behind that was getting that wheel to spin like this and
like
keeping
aggressive inertia.
Yeah, the inertia of that back wheel rotating. And I did. I had a really good session with Sheeny on that big ramp that Travis designed, and we were both kind of playing around with some different things, and I did try that, the on off, but for me it didn't feel as effective for me because I kind of like to, once I leave the ramp, I got both feet hooked under the gear shifter and the brake pedal, and I kind of just tuck into a little ball, and any time I was kind of getting on and off the throttle, I was opening up a little bit, which slows things down, the rotation. So
I feel like that's so gnarly that like chicken wing of the arm would almost throw you off a little bit,
so
right?
Sheeny's a unicorn, so like that's why he can do that. But for me, I like to
narrow shoulders.
Once I leave that ramp, I'm not I ain't going anywhere. I'm hooked into the bike, so I can't bail no matter what. But I just hang on to it and rev the thing. So, but like you said, with you noticed that after the second flip, he was able to kind of spot the landing. That's the only time that you can spot the landing on a triple flip. It's pretty cool because the way that I do it after the second flip, I kind of glance down, just like I'm looking down to where my clutch lever would be, almost like glancing down through my arms, and you kind of just, because obviously the bar pad's right in front of your head, so I kind of just look. I probably don't even turn my head, but I just look with my eyes down through past my hand, and that's where I can kind of spot the landing. And then from there, you kind of sit back into that last one. So the last one's obviously the hardest one to get around, because it's the last flip, but the biggest thing is the fact that you're free falling from. Right. So you've hit your peak height, and then you're free falling, and you're still trying to pull a backflip. So it's very unnatural, the feeling of that. But it's a feeling that's like it's pretty hard to beat when you do free fall and you're kind of losing momentum, but you're still able to pull one around. It's a pretty cool feeling. So
yeah, because aren't you like 2 full flips still going up? Like the end of the second flip is when you start going down.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like when I watched yours in slow mo, and I'm like, you're doing 2 full flips going up.
Yeah,
and then
it's funny because Travis and I were speaking about this just a couple of weeks ago, and like for some reason that doesn't matter how many you could do 3 on the way up. Yeah. But you're only going to get 1 on the way down.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what you're doing, you're only ever going to get 1 on the way down. You know what I mean? And that's crazy because to think if someone could do a quad flip and they had to do 3 on the way up, 1 on the way down, like you think it'd be 2 and 2 or whatever.
Right.
But
no.
Some reason that's physics. That's just how the physics work. But hey, I'm happy with it as long as you can get that good flick off the ramp and get tucked into your position. I don't really care how many flips I'm doing on the way up or down, as long as I'm landing 3 or 4 or whatever. Yeah. But I mean, it's pretty cool too. With mentioning that Travis and I were speaking about that, he's done so much testing and put so much thought into doing that trick, because he tried that trick himself for I don't know, a good couple of years, and they went over so many different ramps and bike setups and everything, and they put a lot of science behind that trick. Not necessarily on the TV and the Nitro Circus shows. It looks like
More
these
so behind
guys
the
are just
scenes.
crazy and they're just hucking it, which they are. But they put a lot of thought and different ways of looking into that to getting that trick to happen. So, back when I started learning it when I was, I don't know, 20 or 21 or something, I had no idea. I was just hanging on,
leaning back,
pulling back as hard as I could and hanging on to the big girl and seeing where it would get me. But
no science.
But it was good because over the years I've learnt so much. But I think trying to do a triple flip off not so many ramps, but there was a few different ramps I tried which just weren't good enough to do it. But the fact that I was hooked in and I couldn't bail, every time I went and hit that ramp, I was told myself I'm doing a triple flip no matter what, and I believed I was going to do it. So, but I think the best thing I could take out of all that now is the fact that the ramp wasn't really perfect. It taught me a really good technique because I was just doing every little thing I could, and I was still under rotating on the first generation ramp I built. But I just kept going and kept going and kept going, and I think it just taught me it just perfected my technique and my pull and everything which really helps me now, I think. So I got knocked out so many times on that airbag doing that and broke a bunch of bones and so many different things. And I'm kind of, at the time, it was obviously pretty rough because I was going to work on the Monday feeling a bit bashed and sore, but
Extra shitty.
Not remembering shit.
But to look back now, I'm actually stoked that I went through all that because it definitely taught me a lot with the technique. And now I don't have any. I don't really have any issues with trying to, because at the start, the hardest thing to do is to pull. You got to pull at the right time, and the right time on one of those ramps is as late as possible. So in a perfect world, you want to pull when the front wheel's already off the ramp. If you pull any earlier, you're not going to do it because you pull earlier. And
and that's sketchy too because
pop?
then it.
Yeah, so that was all those mess ups I had over the years and under rotating on the other ramp. It was good because it taught me that late pull. So now I don't have any issues with pulling too early because I've kind of just done the hard yards, and figured all that out. So, but like anything, you can always pull a good thing or a positive thing from a shit situation. I think I've just been lucky. I've been lucky to have a lot of shit situations in my life and my riding because it's just I've always been able to. It's always taught me something.
Well, you learn from losses, right?
Yeah,
like
for sure.
You learn a lot more from losses than you do wins.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's one thing that I've got to be happy about is just being able to have so many fuck ups or injuries or whatever, but then to be able to take something good from it. I think it's super important. And I think, anyone out there who's just having bad luck with things on their bike or whatever, or can't get to something, it's like you just keep going. You just keep on going, keep on doing what you do, and one day you will get that one that gets through. Whether it's you're racing or doing whatever enduro, but as long as you don't give up, I think you're gonna have your time. It's the same for everyone. It doesn't matter how good or bad you are or what you're doing or competing or whatever. If you truly want to do something and you keep going and going and going, you get knocked back down, you keep going, it's going to pay off.
Yeah.
And people say that, and you might be hesitant to believe that, but I believe it now.
But you actually have to believe it.
I've done it so many times now, and it's happened to me, so I believe it.
You've got to believe it, and you've got to be like, I've just learned that it's easy to, and that's exactly what it is. You're right, but it's easy to say that, and there's just a difference between people that actually believe what they're saying and the people that just have heard that before.
I've heard that saying, I know.
Because I know what you mean. Like if, I've experienced it just through a little bit of, just being so obsessed with my craft that like I almost lose focus in like everything else, in
other aspects.
Yeah. Like I have a 1-year-old daughter that I could probably, I could always be a better father, right? But I'm so just obsessed with what I'm doing that, in the long run to be able to provide for my family.
For sure.
But I'm just so into my shit that, like, sometimes it's probably not easy to talk to me.
I agree. And I think
you almost like lose yourself a little bit from it.
Yeah, and I think, although that sounds, that doesn't sound abnormal to me, because I understand exactly where you're coming from, and I think it can be difficult to. You kind of got to be a little bit selfish sometimes.
Absolutely.
But what you've got to remember, and what's most important, is you do have to have time for the people around you, your family, your girlfriend or wife or whatever, because at the end of the day, they're the ones that are supporting you. So there's a fine line between.
It's a balance.
Yeah, I think. You've got to just focus on what you're doing, and you got to have a bit of dog in you. You got to. For me, I go to sleep thinking about dirt bikes. I often have dreams about like putting a different sprocket on the back of my bike, or changing my gearing, or doing something and figuring out that works. And then when I wake up in the morning, doesn't matter what I'm doing, if I'm going to work or whatever, I kind of still on that.
Your brain doesn't shut off. Your brain's always just constantly like, how can we?
Yeah.
What can we do progress? To be better?
Yeah, because I've got so many ideas and things, projects that are going to be coming up in the near future with some crazy stuff. So I'm always just trying to figure out how, what you can do, and sometimes you got to look at yourself and go, hang on a second, I got to make sure I'm spending enough quality time with my fiance and family and all that, because at the end of the day, a dirt bike's cool, but it's just a fucking dirt bike, and your family is what's most important. And especially for me, once your motorbike riding ends, who gives a fuck what you did in the past? You got to focus on your family. You know what I mean? That's
if you write them off, they're not going to be there when you're done.
Yeah,
who's going to be there in the end?
I'm really lucky that my family's and my fiance Beth extremely supportive of the silly things that I want to do. Even this trip in particular, Beth's been here with me since the start. It was her first time coming to the States, and there was a lot of complications too in Oklahoma with the triple flip, and there was I had one big crash there. I was knocked out for like 3 minutes or something. And she doesn't obviously she gets worried when I'm on the ground, non-responsive, but it's crazy. Like she just backs me and supports me that much, and believes. She knows that if I'm putting my thought and my time into something, that I'm going to be giving it 100%. So she sees your she just backs me in that way, and so does my my mum and dad and everything. But it's very important, I think. And even at X Games, like there was a couple, we didn't get practice because the course had to be changed, and there was a few things like that, and everyone was pretty on edge, a bit nervous, and just the whole time she's like, you got it, like you're all right, don't worry, you fucking got it, you've done the hard yards. And sometimes
not a doubt at all.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't matter how mentally tough or whatever you think you are. Sometimes you do need that little fucking shove from someone around you.
100%.
Just to say, come on, man, like you have a go, mate. You got it. Yeah.
I don't think people understand how valuable that is. Like,
words are powerful.
It's crazy. Yeah.
That type of shit, like that person for you can be like the reason that everything gets better, or the reason that everything gets worse.
For sure.
Make or break.
I'm the same exact way.
Yeah.
Like, once I get to a point, I'm just like, there's probably nothing that's gonna bring me back to just chill and like getting my head straight.
Yeah.
But there's been times where I'm like just ready to fucking lose it for whatever reason, and Morgan's just like you're good, you've got this, you've been here before. Like there's for whatever reason she just knows how to like just say
the right thing,
the right two lines to make
right
me just
thing
be
at the right
like,
time.
that just makes me like take a deep breath.
Yeah, well, you know why, mate? Because you found the right one, mate.
And that's what I mean. That's
and I'm the same.
Super valuable when you find that.
Yeah,
it's like,
for sure. Like there's times even like I mentioned before, I didn't have a steering dampener the night before X Games, and I'm like, fuck, I'm doing a no-handed double flip. I need a steering dampener. And we had a pretty decent coastal breeze coming from the beach there at Ventura, so I knew it was going to be windy, and I knew I needed one, and I was fuming. Like if someone walked past me, I could have. They would have just been like, "What the fuck's wrong with this?" Like I was angry, and I've got a short temper with things to do with me, not with other people. I've always got time and always try to help people where I can, but I'm pretty hard on myself, as most people in the
disciplined people are.
But it's funny, like you said, whoever that person is for you, whether it's your missus or a friend or your parents or whatever, it's funny, you can be in a headspace where you're so pissed off or frustrated or you're fuming or whatever, and that person, they can literally say like 5 words or 2 lines, and then it's like, oh, you're right. And I'm like, how powerful are those fucking 5 words? Because anyone else could say 5 words to me, and I'd just say, get fucked.
Yeah, there's 2.
But nah, like, I mean, it's super important, and I think after this trip, having her here, she'll be definitely coming to all the others, because she's like a tool that, she's just like
you almost didn't know you needed.
Yeah, for sure. Because it's
you obviously knew you needed her, but
but it's in the past we haven't had the opportunity to bring her. She's been busy with her work, and I'm kind of battling to make ends meet to get my own flights to America and bikes and all that. So it's an expensive round trip, but she would always have wanted, she's always wanted to come, but it was more so just the work situation. So it was, it's good to have her here.
One trip is all it took. Now she can't stay home.
Yeah, now she's
like, hey, you're not staying home. I need you here. Let's go.
Now she's going to have to deal with my shit before every X Games, but hopefully it gets a bit smoother from here on out, because another thing of being an X Games rookie is you put a lot of pressure on yourself. Obviously there's pressure involved, but you put a lot of pressure on yourself as, I say an X Games rookie, but not necessarily a rookie, but someone that's new to competing in X Games. You've done so many other things outside of X Games, but when you're there, it's the big stage, and it is easy to, you put a lot of pressure on yourself. So things are hard, and I'm the kind of person that does put a lot of pressure on myself, just in everything in life, because I'm always trying to go a bit harder, do a bit better or whatever. So I think you definitely need to have someone around you. Even like most of the guys that are competing and got, if they haven't got their missus, they've got their mechanic or their friend or whatever. But to do it as a solo act, it'd be pretty tough. I think you got to have a friend there or something, because there's just so much that goes on, and it's only a couple of days at X Games, and there's just so much shit that goes on in those few days. It's like you almost
it's a roller coaster.
Yeah, for sure. So, but it's cool, man. Each time I go and do these sort of things, I'm able to learn something and take something from it, and then you can just use that to make things easier on yourself the next year, or to learn. You can always learn something. So I've definitely learned quite a bit from that X Games. So I'm just excited. I'm very excited. Can't wait.
So at the end of Best Trick, when they announced the lineup, was there any part of you that was not stoked on where the medals went, just because that was a pretty heavy podium, just because Jayo did a fucking cliffhanger front flip, which is absurd.
World's first, never been
Yours is technically a world's first, because nobody's double flipped just a normal
next
75
gen.
ramp.
Yeah.
Well, next gen, but like set at
that
70
distance,
right. So, and then Ronaldo's is fucking wild too.
Yeah, for sure.
So like, I know you said you were stoked with bronze, but like, do you think Jayo should have won, or like what's your honest opinion there?
I mean, look, it's a hard one, and it's
being a judge would not
being
be
a judge.
fucking
It's a shit job. For
fuck
sure.
yeah.
I'd never.
I hope those dudes get paid good, because that's a stress job.
I hope not too good, because I want to make sure I make
Need
money.
more money.
Yeah, but look, I think, to be honest, at the time when all that happened, I had zero thought on anything. I was just so stoked that I got third.
Right.
To me, third was just as good as second or whatever. Like, the fact that I got
think
some hardware to take home.
So I think in your scenario, third is as good as second.
For
because
sure.
it's either like you win or
you win, or you're the first loser. It doesn't matter.
You win,
I'll be the
or
second loser, dude.
Yeah.
you win or you still get a medal. Either, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But look, man, I think, to think about it now and the podium and stuff, I'm absolutely stoked with where I finished. I'm happy to finish in third. I don't want to think I should have finished higher. I'm pumped. I'm just pumped I didn't get fourth, because fourth was the first loser.
Yeah.
So no, I'm really happy with that. I think, people, it's just hard, because another thing is you don't necessarily know what the judges are looking for. We do have a meeting with the judges. Like, everyone has a meeting together, like 15 or 20 minutes prior to the competition.
Like a writers meeting kind of.
A writers meeting. And, I guess the sort of thing they're looking for is innovation. That's the biggest thing for X Games. They want something new. And that's the reason that they brought in the next gen ramp, because it's new, and they're going to see things that, may have never been done before. But it's a hard one, man, because I don't know how body varial body variables might score differently to flips, front flips, back flips. I don't really know what the criteria is there, but I mean, just to look at it as a whole, I think what Jayo did was absolutely insane. I think the first jump for him, that he did a front flip cliffhanger, but it wasn't as extended.
Yep.
I think that judging was pretty fair with how that was, but then that second one that he did was really, really big,
pretty clean,
extended. That was the biggest one he's done, apparently, even leading into, even in the foam pit practice and everything. So that was pretty impressive. And I mean, I spoke to Jayo while we were on the podium, and I think he was happy with where it was. The thing you got to take in as well is, like, Ronaldo, he did that. He made it look very easy.
He did.
And
when I watched it, I almost didn't even know what happened.
Yeah, I didn't either. I'm like, how's that first?
He's done the hard yards leading into X Games, as we all have. But I think, so you just couldn't fault him on the style, the execution, and the landing and everything. It was like so smooth. He didn't dab before. He just, everything he did, it looked very easy. And it's that trick. It's not easy,
For sure.
So I think, I'm sure the judges have a box they got to tick that's overall impressions, and I think the fact that he made it look so easy, I think that goes pretty high on their scorecard. Yeah. But yeah, like you said, it's a shit job to be a judge. Like, no one's ever going to be happy,
Right.
But
there's always going to be somebody.
But this
pissed,
year, I can tell you, I am that one dude that is happy.
I'm stoked. You're genuinely happy.
But
I had breakfast with him the next day, and he was telling us how every one he did, like back home, was way different than the ones he was doing here.
Really?
Yeah, like the one that he won with.
Yeah.
Doesn't even look like the same trick as what he was practicing back home. Yeah,
that's wild, eh?
When I saw on his Instagram he had a video,
the lead up,
all the crashes and stuff, and I'm like, okay, now it looks hard.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's incredibly hard.
One to think of, like, what can go wrong when you
there's a lot
you let go,
a lot that can go wrong, and
I just recently experienced what can go wrong
on
just a normal 75-foot ramp.
For sure, man.
A lot can go wrong.
There's a lot that can go wrong, and like
should have body varied.
Should have flipped it.
It was because some of the riders, a few of the riders that were doing front flips, like Luke Ackerman and Jayo and Harry, during the practice the day before in the warm up, they opted to throw their trick in practice, so they were feeling more confident and ready for the competition, which is awesome. If you're confident enough to be in practice, then you're going to go into the competition with a lot less stress.
For sure.
But with David, that's not the sort of trick you do in practice. You don't risk it.
Yeah.
And I didn't double flip at all in practice. I just straight jumped so many times and kind of.
Does that throw you off at all?
No, well, I just didn't want to
waste it.
I just wanted to make it there. And one thing I kind of had in my mind too is, like, I don't want the judges to know what I'm doing in practice.
Yeah.
If they know what trick I'm doing,
you almost blow your wad.
A little bit. It might not be as exciting or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but also I didn't want to get hurt, and I don't give a shit about getting hurt, but I didn't want to get hurt before the competition. I wanted to lay everything out when I had to. But that's another thing.
You know how it feels to get there and have something happen and not even get to ride the event.
So, but that was what I was thinking with David. It's gnarly because he, I mean, it was the same as me, but yeah, you ride practice and you jump the thing straight, and then when the time comes and when it matters, you just do everything. You just make it happen, and that was that's another thing I thought was pretty cool. Is he just turned up when it had to be done. He did it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, all riders do, but it was you've only got one shot with that trick. If you crash, you're probably not going to turn around and do your second attempt.
Right.
You're probably going to be pretty
heading to the
sore.
hospital probably.
And that was kind of how I felt about my one. So I'm like, I'll just I just do it when I need to. I'm not here to win practice or anything. I'm here to get through and get into the event safely. And then once the event starts,
it's wide open.
Yeah, there's nothing that's going to stop me from doing what I came to do. So
yeah,
I'm ready to put everything on the line for when it matters. And you kind of just say to yourself, we're at fucking X Games. Like, if it's windy or the jump's not right or whatever, it doesn't matter. You're at X Games.
Everyone's got to deal with it, right?
That's exactly, that's the place where you want to end up if you can. That's the,
Right.
The pinnacle, I guess. It's like the Olympics of action sports. And
I hate to say it, but if you're going to have something happen, I mean, ideally it
do it on the
happens in competition.
you do it on the TV, so at least
So
you,
everyone can see it.
at least
You
you can
have
get your
footage.
at least you can get your sponsors on the
Exactly.
on the TV. But it's cool. It's a pretty cool feeling because obviously I was nervous before the competition, like anyone is, but. Yeah, and because I hadn't yet double flipped that setup, and it is a bit different to what I was expecting. The landing was a lot lower, and there was a few things, but so obviously the nerves were there; they were present during that time. But it's an amazing feeling, and I'm sure every rider, could agree with me. But when you turn around and you've got them, waiting to call your name or to give you the thumbs up or whatever, it's crazy because the nerves and everything, they're there. Once you click your bike into gear and you start taking off, there's nothing. There's not a single one other thing in my mind. I had no nerves, nothing at all. It's just, you're just focused on that and that only. And I wish I could do that in my everyday life because it's crazy. It feels unbelievable. It's unreal. Like at that time, I know people say, you're just focused on that and whatever, but truly there's nothing else in the world going on to you at that point, and it's like it's fucking wild. It's definitely something that's it just helps you get things done because it's just, I guess it's that adrenaline and stuff, and at that time you just feel like you're exactly where you're meant to be, and you just know that you've done the hard yards as every other rider has, but that's just where you can just you and your bike,
Right.
and I think that's a pretty cool feeling, and I'm sure that's exactly how Jacko and David would have felt as they were cruising into their run. It's pretty wild. You certainly, like, the last thing that's on your mind is not landing or getting hurt, or like you just don't give a shit. And you just got to and that's that time where you do have to be selfish, and you just got to think, I'm fucking doing this no matter what,
Yeah.
But it's cool, and for me it's a relatively new experience in that respect. Like I had the same sort of mindset and everything at the Nitro World Games, but it's a bit different I mean, that was a competition too, but X Games is just a bit different. You grow up
X
watching.
Games is the pinnacle.
Yeah, you just grow up watching people on TV and seeing, and it's
and that
it's fucking
I'll
pretty
give
wild.
them a shit ton of credit. Like, first of all, from pretty much all the riders, I've heard that they are really easy to work with.
Yeah,
so that's awesome.
Oh, extremely good.
And X Games being back in Southern California, fully public. There was
It's sick.
over
That was so
25,000 people there.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I had never got to go to an X Games, but I obviously remember watching it on TV.
Yep.
And just being like, that looks so fucking sick.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I could just be there.
I know, it was
experience
unreal.
it.
Like I think when X Games was at the Staples Center in LA, that's something that can never be, that was awesome.
Yeah.
That
That probably can't be redone.
probably can't be redone. But what I think is it's exciting about Ventura is the fact that it's the location.
Yeah, on the beach.
Being on the beach and just having all the fans right there, like by the the
On
freestyle
the
ramps
floor.
are here, and there's one little fence, and all the fans are there, so
Did
you
you
can
see
hear
Quarter
them.
Pipe?
Yeah, it was sick. I was trying to get to the front and watch. Yeah,
Dude, the amount of people that were lined up for
it was
Quarter
unreal.
Pipe, Best
Yeah.
Whip, and Best Trick. I think dirt bikes are thriving right now.
I think so, man. And like I was,
Because
I was so
those
stoked.
3 events, it seemed like everybody came to where,
Yeah.
like,
Skateboard,
not to
BMX.
knock skating or BMX,
Yeah,
but it didn't seem like the entire crowd went over there, which
Yeah.
for BMX, people are definitely losing out because,
That's
like,
gnarly,
R.
man.
Willie,
Absolutely,
fucking J.
yeah.
Tui, and
all the fellas, yeah.
Dubby are absolutely fucking madmen.
Yeah.
Like, the shit that they're doing is so fucked.
I think it's like, I mean, like you're saying, I think dirt bikes is driving, and I was pumped with how many people there were on the.
That's
on
gotta
a
feel
Saturday.
fucking
I was,
insane.
even just the day after I competed, when I was watching the quarter pipe and everything, I was just honestly happy to see how many people
Fuck
were there.
yeah,
I'm
like
fuck,
what
this
a
is-
time
it's a
to
good-
be at the top of your sport.
It's just a
right?
good feeling because, when we had COVID and all that other shit, things did drop off for a little bit.
Mhm.
And, the return of X Games was probably questionable
Right.
at some points because just of all the shit that was going on. So
Fuck yeah. After
it's fucking
Axles,
awesome
I
to see it.
honestly wondered if it was gonna like really make a comeback.
Yeah.
I think there was
figured-
talks about it not, right?
Well,
Sort of. I think it was
When they sold it.
I had
Yeah.
heard that it was supposed to be at Axles for like 2 more years. or
yeah,
something.
right. Well,
But-
I think now after how successful that event was and and just the level of the riding, like the
Yeah.
level of the riding, not just for moto but for everyone, has stepped up an incredible amount. I think
For
like,
sure.
massively, and that's one thing I'll get to in a sec. But I think the fact that there were so many people there present, buying tickets, watching, and the riding was so good. I think X Games has got to be pretty pumped on that. And I have heard that we're going to be going back to Ventura next year, and I think that they're going to incorporate like an actual freestyle run again.
That would be fucking sick.
there was
the runs.
Yeah, 'cause there was like
30 seconds.
there's like an arena on the showgrounds there, like a stadium sort of
Yeah.
thing, right by where we were, and I think that's got like grandstand seating and everything around it. So I think
there's
they wanna
there's
do
like a
the-
flat track course.
Yeah, so I think that they obviously after that being a success and having such a good turnout, I think they're going to go pretty big for next year and have freestyle and hopefully some other events too. So I think we're on track, man. I think it's going really well. I think the dirt bikes things are coming back. There's a times there I'm like things are dying off a lot, like especially in Australia. But
There was a point
pretty
where I
refreshing to
literally
see.
wondered how many more years freestyle motocross would have.
yeah,
I feel like it did hit a slump, a heavy one at one point,
Yeah.
like 10 years ago.
Mhm.
And then,
And
but
even-
the last like 5 have really elevated.
My daughter's just screaming upstairs.
She agrees.
My even now, I still think that it's a little bit like questionable, just because it's like, what happens after you guys?
yeah.
There's really not like
Well, I'm just going to keep doing it till I'm 80.
good thing because
Yeah,
there's not
proper
really
Yeah.
there's not really any kids coming up that are trying to get
Yeah,
into it,
I mean-
which is and it's we were talking about this last night.
Yeah,
at
it's an
dinner.
interesting conversation, and I think
Like, what kid wants to get into freestyle moto right now to get into like they
Yeah.
basically have to double backflip to even be competitive.
To qualify.
for
Right.
sure, especially for best trick, like you have to be coming with at least a double. But I think, look, I think it's an interesting topic, and I think it could be pretty intimidating for a young kid to want to get into freestyle when you see the level of where it's gotten to. But I mean, if there's anything I could ever do to help people try to get in there safely, I think we're very lucky now with the airbag technology that we have that's available. Obviously, it's not available to everyone because it's super expensive. Like, I don't own any airbags myself, but just the fact that they're around, the guys at Bag Jump do an amazing job, and it makes learning freestyle or learning a new trick or whatever, it makes it so safe to where
Yeah, it
you can
does.
you can do a triple backflip and land upside down and be fine.
I've
Like,
seen
which is
so many
wild.
videos.
Yeah,
of-
if you do that on dirt, you're dying.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like it's a very intimidating thing for a young fella to want to get into it, but I think I think there's going to be some guys. There will be some guys that pop up in the next few years for sure, and if there's ever anything that I can do to help people out to get into it or to give them some advice or whatever, I would I'd love to, because I mean I'm still kind of one of the young guys as well, and I was lucky enough to have people like Cam Sinclair and Bill Coe kind of just point me in the right direction or give me some tips here
help
and
show
there.
you
So
the
I think
ropes.
I want to see the sport keep going and keep building and just reaching for the stars. So I think I want to try to encourage as many kids as possible to get into it and get into it in a safe way. You don't need to you don't need to be trying to do backflips and double backflips in your first year of
Right.
riding freestyle. There's I think with a lot of the guys, even guys like Adam Jones, who have been doing the gnarliest tricks for 15, 20 years, they've kind of paved the way, and you can kind of follow in other people's footsteps and look at how they've done things. You don't need to learn anything overnight.
Right.
But in saying that, like the quarter pipe, that's one event where I think there's only a few dudes that are going to do that, because I mean, you could go around and ask all the riders that are in best trick and whatever. I don't think many people are going to put their hand up to
Most
do that.
people don't want to do
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I
think
did that the other day at Bilko's.
Yeah.
I asked like Jacko, Harry, I'm like, have you guys tried quarter pipe? And they're like, we don't have the bike skill for that. And
Yeah.
I'm like, you
Yeah.
can literally do the gnarliest trick in the world, but quarter pipe, and you look at quarter pipe and it's moto dudes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like that were racers. You know
That's
what I mean?
right. I
And
mean-
and whip guys and stuff like that.
I think as well with quarter pipe, it's if you notice, like the guys that are competing at a high level in quarter pipe, that's what their focus is on, and that only sort of thing. They're not focused on learning freestyle tricks or whatever, like, and that says something. It's because it takes a lot of time and hard work to be able to get into that, and you've got to put everything into it, and it's kind of what I am trying to do with the best trick sort of stuff is, try to put all my time into that, into doing mad things that other people haven't necessarily done. I think that's the same with the quarter pipe guys. Like, it was crazy to watch how much better everyone's got. Like Patrick Evans was like pumping. Cole, like everyone was going so good. Even Jared McNeil is going so much higher than he has like last
Everyone.
year. Like I reckon Jared's going like at least 10 feet higher than he has in previous years. And it's just unreal to see that, just the level of riding. Like it's pretty wild. Sometimes I got to sort of take a step back and go, fuck, like these is mad, just to be riding with these fellas or even be friends with them is pretty wild. So, but like we said, I think we're on the right step to make things pretty sick. Yeah. And,
how crazy of a showdown was it between
Raha? Yeah, it was wild, man. It was so wild. It was nuts. Literally came down to nothing.
Last run.
Yeah, so wild. And, it's one thing I was thinking about with the quarter pipe, because those guys are, speaking with Tyler and Corey and stuff, like those guys are pretty well, with the size of that quarter pipe and the way that our bikes work, they're pretty much topped out as far as they're in second gear, and they're pretty much giving everything the bike has. You can't enter the ramp with speed. You need to come in slow and wrap it on. It's very similar to jumping, like a moonbit or a triple flip ramp.
Yeah.
And when they're wrapping that throttle on, they're pretty much at the limit. Like they've jumped to such a high peak of what that ramp can do. There's probably not much more left in it.
Right.
But it's what got me thinking with the Stark Varg electric bike. I rode that thing yesterday out at Parlour, and talking with Tyler about that, it's like that thing has an amazing amount of power, has up to 80 horsepower, and the torque that it has is just ridiculous. Like it'll pull your arms off if you have it on those high settings. And I just think that's going to be a game changer, not only for motocross and supercross and whatever, but that one bike just there, that's going to be a game changer for our whole sport. And I think quarter pipe's going to be somewhere where we really see the benefits, because you can come into the ramp at your normal pace, and obviously it has no gears, no clutch, there's no drag. That electric power is just instant. So fancy coming in there at your normal speed, and then once you wrap that throttle on, there's no rev limiter that's topping out. The thing's just going, man. Like
it's probably like being in third gear almost.
It's
like
wild.
Another gear higher.
Unlimited gears. Yeah, so it's like...
Do they feel a lot lighter?
Well, they're quite a bit heavier than a gas-powered bike. But, so they're 119 kilos. And to put that in perspective for people that don't weigh in kilos like you guys, but like my bike, for instance, or a KTM or a gas or a Husky, they're like one of the lighter gas powered bikes. They're about 102 kilos, so they're quite a bit heavier, the Stark. But they are working on, there is going to be potential to drop about 30% of the weight in the battery in maybe 8 or 12 months time. But the thing is, although it weighs more, it doesn't feel like it. The bike, because it's got so much power, and the way that they've built it, like the center of gravity, everything is perfectly built. Yeah. So the weight is in the right spot. And when you're riding the thing, it does not feel heavy. It feels heavy when you're lifting it on and off the stand, but as soon as you get on it, it doesn't feel heavy. Like when I was riding it yesterday, like I've never ridden any bike that turns corners as well as that does. And generally, if you're on a big heavy bike, it's not going to feel like you can really you can just put it wherever you want. So I think it's going to be amazing for the sport, and best trick, and quarter pipe and everything like that. So I think with the momentum that the sport has at the moment, and the crowd and the fans that we have, having this new secret weapon of a bike, I think it's only going to be good for us. And I know a lot of people carry on and whinge and whine and don't like electric and whatever, but hey, at the end of the day,
it's just another option. That's all it is.
Yeah, you don't have to go for it. But if the sport that you love and the riders that you like to follow, if they can get on that bike and go 10 feet higher or whatever, or, throw a bigger whip or add another backflip or whatever, I mean, it's only going to do good things for the sport in general. So I'm pretty excited to spend a bit of time on that bike and kind of see, how things are and get a feel for it, because it's definitely different, but I did the first two. Like, I haven't even ridden a motocross track in like 5 years, so even that was different to me going to parlour because I've just been riding freestyle. But it was like one lap, and I was already sort of had a good feel for it. And I rode the bike, so I rode two of them, and one of them had the rear brake on the left-hand side where your clutch would normally be, and one had the foot brake, like a normal dirt bike. And at the start, I was thinking, I'm not going to like that brake on the handlebars.
Like, the handbrake's so good.
It's like a mountain bike.
But yeah, once I rode the thing, man, I'm like, I back-to-backed it with the other bike with a foot brake, and I'm like,
you can drag it.
that
so
thing
nice.
is so sick. You almost use it as a clutch, and when you're trailing into a corner or a right or whatever, you can kind of just, it's like trailing the rear brake.
Just
on a right-hand turn, you just can't do that with your rear brake, and you can carry more speed into a corner, and you can just, like, it just helps you turn the thing and everything. So it's like, I was thinking, I don't know about that. Like, it's going to feel weird, but it's so sick.
Yeah.
For me, if I was doing freestyle on one, I'd have the brake pedal, for the foot.
To tuck it.
But because there was a few times on like my first 1 or 2 laps, I was jumping one of the back tabletops. You pretty much hitting the thing as flat out as fast as you could go. And there was a few times I like went to tap the rear brake with my foot just out of habit, and I'm like, fuck, it's not there. But man, hats off to those guys. They've done every little thing that you think could be better on a dirt bike. They've done, and then there's so many things that you don't think about that they've done as well. Like it's wild. Even when you adjust the chain, like, it's got like clickers at the back of the swing arm, so you don't have to worry about getting the left and right side even. They just got clicks.
That's cool.
And even the foot pegs, like the foot pegs don't have a pin with a split pin. Like the foot peg, you just put it there. The spring doesn't need to be bent or anything. You just put the foot peg there, and it's got a bolt, a thread, and a bolt, and it just screws straight.
Wow.
It's unreal.
That's
and they're like countersunk inside the foot peg mount, so nothing's sticking out. It's super neat. You can't see it.
That's cool. Really is a futuristic bike.
It's wild, man. And like, you can they
look incredible.
The adjustment that you can do with your tablet or Android or whatever that thing is on the bar pad is like, you can go from like a standard 125 kind of power, or you get up all the way up to 80 horsepower. But it doesn't just stop there. Like, you can eliminate all your engine braking. You can have 100% engine brake. You can have 0, and the amount of difference that makes is like incredible. And
the fact that you can control that,
it's wild. The hardest thing is figuring out how to learn how to use the
right. What does what, right?
Yeah, but like, but it's like, man, it's wild. And I had pretty high expectations riding that bike because I've studied every video, I've watched everything, I've listened to all the podcasts and everything, regarding that bike, and I've been so excited. And I didn't think I was going to have the chance to ride it on this trip. It just sort of happened. But as I said, I had high expectations, and I think it was even more impressive than I thought. So, and Bilko rode the thing as well, and like, he hasn't ridden motocross in a long time, and almost couldn't get him off the thing.
Did Bilko like it?
He loved it. Like, he was blown away. And we were at Parlour. It was hot as you can imagine. Normally, I wouldn't want to be out there cutting motos in that kind of heat when I'm not a motocross racer.
Unless you have to,
and especially
be.
Bilko, like, he wouldn't have normally done that. And I literally almost couldn't get him off it. He was loving it. So that,
like, can I go?
like, it's it's sick. I mean, I don't want to ramble on too much about it, but it's super impressive. And I just think, just to see where we can be in 8 or 12 months' time with that bike and what can be possible, I think everyone's going to be in for some pretty cool shit, because it's pretty wild.
Could that bike be the gateway to a quad flip?
Oh, potentially. I don't know. It's I mean,
does it have more? It has more torque to the rear wheel, right? Like,
it's got so much more torque.
Would that make it spin easier? Probably.
Yeah, I think it's got like 1,000 Newton meters of torque, or so. I don't know. He said something like that, like way more than a 450. So, who knows? I think anything's possible, man. And to just have something new on the market like that, it just gets people like me pretty excited. So, I think for the people that are listening to this, you just have to hang tight and give us a bit of time, and we'll see what can be done. Because who knows? I might be on a Stark at next year's XGames.
I was gonna say, is there a potential that you could end up on one here soon?
Who knows? If once I get to ride it on some ramps and see what it's all about, could do for sure. Like, Sheeny was pretty impressed with it, and he didn't have much time on it at all leading into XGames, and he was. I mean, he's Sheeny. He can do double flips on any bike, but you know, he adapted to it right away, and he was pretty stoked. So that's another good thing, you know. It gives me confidence in the bike for sure.
Oh yeah.
Did you get to see anybody cool at X Games?
Anybody cool?
Yeah, like anybody that you were hyped on to see.
Because
there's so many people there that aren't moto.
Yeah, for sure. I did. I saw Tony Hawk.
That was cool.
Dude, fuck, this camera just died over here.
Oh,
Is that yours?
Yeah, here,
Sure.
let me
Cool.
let me switch this or see if I have a battery really quick to switch.
Yep.
I hope I do. I have a great story about something about that.
all right, sweet.
That's
But
wild.
probably he's also probably got some pretty hectic like fucking growth hormones and
You're right.
testosterone. Oh, for sure. I mean, he's fucking Tony
Yeah.
Hawk. He'd have the best shit around him, doctors.
For
and,
sure. He's probably pretty set. I'm sure.
yeah, dude.
Fuck,
knows.
he's got to be loaded.
Oh man, he would be worth a. He'd be worth a
The video game.
He'd be worth a stupid amount of money.
Let
I
you know
think.
right now.
Yeah, like just the
Oh, 140 million.
Yeah, that's who knows how
I was gonna
accurate.
say,
It
just
might
the
even be
video
more.
game
Well, that's
itself.
just like bank.
That's
Like
yeah.
not assets and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Like that's just combined. Like he could have other shit that they don't
People
even know
don't-
about.
yeah.
Right. So we had to switch a little bit. Of course, nothing ever fucking goes smooth or planned on these
Why would
podcasts.
it be?
Like
Why would it go?
We're
easy?
cuddling now.
Yeah.
we have. Well, here's the thing. I haven't had any action lately. So.
Oh shit! You can do it.
Getting a bit toey.
You ever hopped on one leg?
Oh mate, I've fucking had action when I had a
I've re-broke my collarbone.
couple
see, I
days
can't-
after a broken neck. I was on the fucking workbench. Yeah, with a neck brace on.
See, I can't. I just don't have enough movement. Like my shoulders fucked, and then like
Yeah.
I can't like.
Wait, when there's a will, there's a way.
Right?
You can just
Yeah.
stand there and
Oh,
well,
dude.
then you hear that in the
Yeah.
background,
Right?
and you're like, you know what?
yeah,
Might
that's
just go to sleep.
That's probably the hardest part.
Yeah.
Is having a little one that you got to like.
Yeah.
for
I
sure.
broke-
There's no like, there's no alone time.
Yeah, nah, for sure.
And I'm like one of those people that
He all looks over and sees her in the crib all
Yeah.
exactly
staring at him,
like
staring at you.
well, even she's not gonna love this, but the one night we were trying to get it on, and I fucking we're like mid session, everything's going fine, and I look over and Scarlett's sleeping, but her hand is just like hanging out of the bassinet, and I just seen that, and I'm like
Killed the vibe.
just killed the vibe, like just seeing,
Oh mate,
just
you're a gentleman.
seeing her
Oh,
land.
keep going.
And
I'm
she
gonna
just-
give you a sibling.
well, she just like rolled it, like Scarlett just like
Yeah.
rolled over a little bit,
Yeah.
and it just like gave me the thought of like my child, and I'm just like,
Yeah, it's a fucking tough one,
like
mate.
I'm good. I don't know if I really want to finish this. She's like, what the fuck? But
You're like, hey, I finished. Sorry, maybe next time for you.
yeah. But so
Oh.
back to what we were saying.
Tony Hawk.
I'm sitting at my buddy's van, in between events because sometimes shit takes so fucking long there.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there smoking a joint with one of my buddies, and a golf cart rolls by, and it's fucking Tony Hawk. And my one buddy, shout out to JK Good because he made this whole situation fucking so memorable. He yells out to Tony Hawk like, "Yo, do a kickflip," because
Yeah.
you know how Tony does that whole thing.
Yeah.
This fool, he's riding in the passenger seat of a golf cart. He grabs a skateboard and he does the whole like
Throws
he's
it.
hanging it out of the air, throws it mid-air, does a kickflip,
Catches it.
lands it, like catches it, and like just rides away with it. And
That's funny.
it was pretty badass.
What a
Like I
mad dog.
full
That's
on
cool.
take that as Tony Hawk did a kickflip for us.
Yeah, that's
That's
sick.
funny.
And that's what I mean
He's
when
a
I
mad
ask
dog,
about
eh?
like, did you see anybody cool at X Games?
Yeah.
Besides
Legend.
that, like out of all the cool shit that happened, like Tony Hawk did a kickflip for us.
Yeah, nah, like I saw.
I'll
I mean,
never
I
forget that.
I saw a lot of cool people there. I didn't get the chance to meet Tony Hawk, but I did see him, which was cool enough for me. But I mean, everyone there is fucking pretty badass in their own way. Like even you know what I mean. There was some fucking crazy dudes there, like awesome people that you kind of.
I didn't get to see him, but I know Bam Margera
Yeah, I
was walking
saw-
around.
I saw-
That's cool.
Yeah, I saw Bam. Yeah, he
And
was-
even like I didn't get to see him one time, but like it would have been cool to run into Nija. Like
Yeah.
that's just such a big name.
I didn't. Yeah, I actually didn't get to see him either. I knew obviously he was there, and I thought it'd be cool just to. I wouldn't have like gone up and fanboyed or anything, but just to see him walk past would have been pretty cool. But I mean, I was hanging out in like the riders' room most of the time, where like they had catering, food, and aircon.
Yeah, the
and
athletes
everything.
lounge.
Yeah,
Where it's
so-
nice, cool, and there's food to eat for
Yeah,
days.
man,
Dude, they were
What?
fucking giving massages and shit to you guys. It was pretty.
Yeah, it
unreal.
was sick. Yeah, I was trying to
kind?
take full advantage of that because I was pretty sore, like leading into that from getting busted up. So, yeah, I was trying to take full advantage of that. But even just the food and like they looked after us pretty well because the only other X Games I've been to was at Axel's place and during COVID and everything, and
Yeah, it's a lot.
it was
different.
just a lot different because they did what they could there, but I hadn't been to any other ones, so I wasn't familiar with the whole athlete lounge and everything. So they definitely look after you pretty good. But that was kind of where I saw all the mad dogs. Like that's where I saw Tony and whoever else. But yeah, it's pretty cool. You got to kind of pinch yourself sometimes. You go, fuck, Tony Hawk's over there.
So it's cool. To take it back to like your Stark story.
Yep.
I ride these little electric pit bikes.
Yeah, I've seen them. They're sick.
And yeah, so there's like a 50 version and there's a 110 version that they just came out with.
Yep.
And it's funny because everybody asks me like, oh, how are they? Blah blah blah. The 110 version is fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Like so good. It's not even funny. Like if you were to put a brand new CRF 110 in front of me or one of these electric 110s, I'd go for the electric 110
Hands
every
down,
single
yeah.
time.
Is that the gray one? The 110?
The
Yeah.
way the weight is distributed on them
Yeah.
is fucking incredible.
Yeah, it's
and like
gnarly.
when I ride one of those, I'm like, fuck, a Stark has got to be so good if it's like a big bike version of this.
Yeah, nah, for sure. And I actually rode one of those bikes. I think Tucker was.
Yeah, I gave
cruising
one of
around.
mine to Taka.
Yeah, so I had just a little turn of his, just in like the pit area, and because it was like loose gravel, like the ground
Yeah.
was pretty loose, and I sort of gave it a bit just to see what it had, and like the thing just kicks out. It's so they're pretty cool.
If
but-
you notice on his back fenders broke because like the second day I had mine, I was playing around with wheelies in the street and I
Yeah.
gave it a handful and just went
Looped
right to my back.
yeah, dude, you could
Like they have a lot of power.
That's one thing which is like even on the Stark, like you want to have a wheelie bar on that thing. If you're like trying to do like a slow wheelie,
You have to learn
fuck, man.
the electric power.
Yeah, for
Once
sure.
you figure the electric power out,
Yeah.
it's super manageable and it's fucking incredible.
It's just
Yeah.
more torque, right? Because even like Teslas and stuff,
A
like
lot.
electric is just torque.
A
It's
lot
just
more torque.
I
crazy.
think it's definitely it's definitely interesting with that too because I was thinking when I was out watching Sheeny, he was doing some double flips in the foam pit, but he was also jumping like the comp ramp at 75 and everything. And I was thinking to myself, I wonder how hard it is to the first couple times you hit a ramp to judge your speed.
For sure.
Because
It's got to
everything,
be so much different.
yeah. But Sheeny said it's actually pretty easy. Like it's not that bad. But because everything. I mean, but even with a normal gas powered bike, everything you go off is like the feel and the noise and everything. So you kind of don't have the noise and that same
Right.
feel. But in saying that, when I was at Parla riding it, I mean, obviously I'd never ridden there, so I didn't know how fast to hit any of the jumps anyway. But you kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but it all just kind of works. Like you just figure it out. Like it's a lot different, but it doesn't take you long to adjust to if you already know how to ride a bike, which is
Yeah.
pretty cool. So I imagine the 110s would be like that as well.
So good. Like even just I took it to the local like bike park and they have like these wood takeoffs.
That looks so
dirt
sick.
landings. Dude, it's so
Yeah.
fun. Like shout out to Menifee for like fucking
Getting it
creating
done.
so
It's badass.
much
Oh, I've
fun
seen
for
that
kids.
place,
Yeah.
Dude, it's so
That's sick.
But they're so good. Like
Yeah.
they literally give me the confidence that I could go hit like big BMX jumps. on them
Yeah,
and
they
shit.
look sick too. I've like
They do. They
When
look
it's
really
legal,
sick.
right?
I
I mean, it's a gas one wouldn't be, but I think electric, there's no.
to ride it on the street
probably
is
frowned upon.
I mean,
but-
it's probably like riding a
probably
bicycle, though,
frowned
right?
upon. Yeah, I
yeah,
don't know.
I mean, it's hard.
It's like a mountain bike.
They're cracking down hard on Surons, so I don't know.
Do you know
Wow.
what's funny? If it had pedals and cranks,
Then yeah,
it would be
Just
fine.
put fake ones on.
But the fact that it has foot pegs and it looks like a dirt bike,
Yeah.
I think that's where they get you. But
So where I was going with that whole thing is, it's funny because I have a buddy named Hayden Kelly, Kelly_global on Instagram. He's like a sports agent,
yep,
and he manages Wanky.
Yep.
So he was talking to me before X Games, and he's like, "Hey, do you think there's any way we could get a couple of those electric pit bikes just to cruise around X Games?"
yeah,
So I talked to my guy at Grainger, and we gave him a couple of the 50 versions
Yep.
just to cruise around X Games, show off to people, blah, blah, blah. And I believe the last day of X Games, Hayden's just cruising along and he sees Bert Kreischer,
Oh, yeah.
famous comedian.
Yeah, comedian, yeah.
And he rolls up to him and he's like, hey, you know, I don't usually do this, but like, can I grab a photo with you? Bert's like, yeah, fuck yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You know, and he's like, what are you doing out here? And he's like, oh, I'm a, you know, sports agent. I take care of the couple of the motocross guys. And Bert's like, oh, dude, that's fucking awesome. I've always wanted to ride a dirt bike, like blah, blah, blah. And he's like, you know, this thing's fucking sick. And Hayden's like, oh, well, if you like this thing, like, you know, my buddy's connected with the company. Like, we could probably figure some things out to get you one. And Bert's like, all right, well, take my info down. So Hayden gets his info, comes back to me, and he's like, yo, fucking, you're not going to guess who wants a green shirt.
Yeah,
you're not going to guess who wants one of these
Yeah.
bikes. And so we, you know, I start making a couple calls, and within 2 days, we're fucking driving 2 of those bikes to Bert Kreischer's house and delivering one to him and another to Jason Ellis, which is like an old skateboard guy.
Yeah,
he actually commentated the skateboard shit
XGames,
at
yeah.
X Games. Yeah, has a podcast with Tony Hawk. Fucking,
Yeah, he's a mad
legit.
dog.
Yeah,
very
mad cunt.
legit. Yeah.
And like, just because of being in like the right place at the right time at X
Yeah, that would
Games,
just happen.
we
Yeah.
we connected to deal with fucking Bert Kreischer.
That's
and
sick.
Jason
Yeah,
Ellis.
that's sick. It's cool. It's very cool how things sometimes
like you
work
never
out
know
like
who
that.
you'll meet. at
Timing's
X
everything.
Games.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. Time is money.
Time is money.
No, that's sick. And I saw the video of was it his wife
Oh, looping
Yeah.
out.
looping out on the video?
That was
Yeah.
hilarious, dude.
I'm not really sure why we did that right there.
Aiming towards
In the street?
for the road.
And it's a busy road. Like
Yeah.
it's not a chill street.
Yeah.
Like, we
It's for the
probably-
content, man.
It's just for do it for the gram,
Dude, it was so fucking funny because again, like we probably could have did that in the driveway to start.
Even if you just aimed the opposite way.
Yeah,
away from
or
the
like
road.
down the street or
Yeah.
whatever. Like pointing into traffic probably wasn't the move.
Yeah.
But when she whiskeys, he's just like, oh, like he doesn't even like jump in front of her or nothing. Like
He's just like, nah, you'll be right.
it was the funniest fucking thing, and it was so cool because like you never like that level celebrity. I feel like you never know how it's gonna go. Like
Oh, for sure.
you don't know if
you
they're
don't.
gonna be totally different than
Exactly
how they are on
right.
camera.
Yeah, no,
Right.
that's exactly right.
And
there's-
meeting him, he was just like the exact same as you would hope that he would be in person.
yeah,
Like,
and isn't that something special? Because there's a lot of times you meet people you look up to or
Not
whatever,
what you
and
think.
yeah,
a
and that's
lot of
why
times.
a lot of people say you never want to meet your idols.
Exactly.
because it can rub you up the wrong way. But
yeah.
no, that's pretty cool to hear. And the fact that he was keen to get
He-
on those little bikes. and
We
stuff, that's
essentially
sick.
got Bert Kreischer into riding dirt bikes.
Yeah,
That's cool.
That's mad. Well, mate, you had a pretty good weekend. You got Tony Hawk did you a kickflip.
Tony Hawk did a kick.
and then
kickflip
that
for us.
happened. That's
So also,
who knows what's gonna happen next year?
yeah, next year's gonna be lit.
Bert might do a kickflip for you.
Bert might be flipping the fucking.
Yeah.
We
He's
never
doing
know.
a
We have no
backflip on the
idea.
green.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
So, real quick, but while we have you, before you get out of here,
Yep.
I wanted to ask you about like Ronaldo's interview. Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I think that was,
That was
sick
hilarious.
as fuck for the sport.
Straight
Yeah.
Nate Diaz.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
he's a full
and I
mad
just
dog.
I love that type of shit. He showed personality.
Yeah.
I love the fact that X Games says you're not supposed to cuss on
Yeah.
TV on the interview, and if you do, you're not allowed back. But
The fact that he
if
just
you
won gold, he
if you
fucking
win,
yeah,
you have to get invited back. So he's kind of he
Yeah.
found like the loophole of like
Right.
kind of
Yeah.
how to say fuck you.
He's
but
like, you can't kick me out.
Yeah.
And no, it wasn't the Nate Diaz. It was the Conor McGregor.
yeah, essentially he copied.
A
Well,
little both. A little
he
bit
kind
of
of copied a little bit of both because
but he did it with his
because
own
he's like,
style.
surprise, surprise.
Mother-
Yeah.
yeah,
King
yeah.
is back.
But over the weekend, we also had an epic fucking interview from Danger Boy Deegan.
Yep.
Did you get to see that?
I did, yeah, briefly. I was just on Instagram, but
Yeah.
I know what you mean. I know what
We'll
you're talking about.
plug it in here too,
Yeah.
so it makes sense.
Man, I've been watching too much David Goggins and Andrew Tate. Those last few laps, I'm like, I'm putting my heart into this thing, baby. And man, it's nerve-wracking, and I'm sure it's nerve-wracking for Hunter too. He's supposed to be winning these things, and I'm glad I could put the American up front for all the fans.
Congratulations, great job.
But
I didn't think it was too bad.
I didn't think it was bad. I watched it and I thought it was fucking classic.
Yeah,
He,
I
like,
mean,
It's just a little
first of all,
mind game
he-
action.
He's a kid, first of all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he shouted out like David Goggins and fucking Andrew Tate, which is like the funniest
that
shit
was
ever.
funny.
And then the whole like Hunter's not supposed to be winning these things, you know.
Yeah.
But then Pulp comes out and he's all, oh, I don't like that he's dividing, you know, America. He's essentially dividing like fans to pick between America or Australia because of Hunter.
Yeah,
and him.
I mean, look.
what's your take on that?
Well, obviously, I'm an Aussie, and
Right.
I, love Hunter and Jet and what they're doing, and that would never change. But fuck, man, I think good on Hayden for doing that because to me, that just speaks confidence because he had a perfect day. He went 1-1. He was
fucking
set the
savage of
he
a
set
perfect
the fastest lap time out of the 450s in every class, every bike.
Yeah.
So he was technically rode faster than Jet Lawrence for a lap or
Right.
however many laps. But, mate, I think we need more of it. And I think that Steve Mathis or whatever he said, I think who wants to see a bunch of robots? You know, people that do their interview and they hold their can of drink up and they say the exact few words they have to say and they walk off. Like, I understand that's kind of how some people are, but we don't want to have all that in our sport. We want to see personality. And I think, and that's the reason that, like, I think it's cool to watch and listen to podcasts because you get to understand, you know, the things about a certain person.
Yeah.
But, man, I think we need more of it. Like, I'm not necessarily saying we need more of, although I think what David did was awesome, but I'm not necessarily promoting that everyone should go and do that. But I think,
If you feel it, though.
yeah,
do
I
it.
think, I just think what Hayden did was fucking awesome because he, as I said, he had a perfect day and nothing he said about, you know, Hunter should be doing, nothing he said was false or incorrect information.
Right.
Like, that's it. Like, he's the rookie.
I think
He probably shouldn't be
Steve's-
winning.
I think Steve's argument to like what you said would be, oh, well, he can have personality and he can, you know, he can show it, whatever, without doing the dividing of the country thing. Like,
I
what-
think that's like a Disney Nations thing.
Did you
Like,
even
he wants that
when you
spot.
seen that? Did you even like take it as that? Because
Nah.
I didn't take
Wow.
it as that at all until Steve brought up the.
Yeah,
whole
no, I mean,
Yeah, I didn't either.
that was the last thing on my mind, and I still don't see how it's a divide. What I see is an Australian rider who's a badass,
Mm-hmm.
who is, in my opinion, at the moment, is a better rider, more experienced.
Absolutely.
I
I'm
agree.
not saying he's a faster rider, but I'm saying he's a better rider because he's got more experience. And I think, you know, although Hayden just showed him what's up this weekend, I think he's the more mature aged rider. But all I see is him, and I see Hayden, who is a mad dog. I don't know him personally, I've never met him, but I don't see how there's any divide. I just see two guys who are training their asses off and racing for a championship. And there's a lot of money and a lot of things on the line. And I just see a young dude that's confident, and I'm sure he gets that from his dad.
Yeah.
But man, the last thing I would think is a divide. I think I think Steve Mathis maybe, I don't know, I think he might be going a bit soft in his age, but
Well, I think
don't
he's
see that's
sensitive.
a divide.
From how I took it, he's sensitive to it because he's a Canadian and he's, you know, in a American industry, and he
Yeah.
doesn't. I don't know.
I think
I
people
personally
like that-
don't agree with him. I think
I'd-
what Hayden did was fucking savage.
Yeah,
I
I
think
mean, you know, I'm sure you always hear people as well say that there's no personality in motocross, and you know, like they're like robots, and you got to do
he's
this and this.
changing that shit.
But then someone goes and does something cool, like Hayden did that interview. But then there's
And then
there's
And then they
people
talk
bitch
shit
about
on
it's
it.
like fuck. What you know,
can't win.
You can't win.
Yeah,
but
what the
like,
fuck do you cunts want?
in my opinion, it's like, fuck, mate, if you're feeling that, if you're 17 or however old he is, 17, 18 years old, and you just went 1-1 and you're like 5 seconds a lap faster, I think that's probably the most polite interview that you could imagine.
Right.
Because a lot of people would have gone way harder than that. So
Right.
I just think, yeah, you do need more of it.
I think he's a fucking gem. I honestly
yeah.
do. I think the fact that he
It's his
went
first
out,
year and he's progressing
I know, like,
insane.
he went 1-1 in the second moto. He fucking passed like 3 or 4 of the top dudes.
Yeah, the
and then he
championship.
checked out from him.
Yeah.
So to do what he's doing, fuck yeah, dude, he absolutely deserves to get on the podium, and
He can say whatever.
he's channeling his inner fucking
At the end of the
David Goggins and Andrew Tate.
That's
like,
so funny.
At the,
Fuck
end,
yeah,
at
he
the end
is.
of the day, you can say whatever you want, man. Like,
I think
he's
it's
the one
sick
that's
as
doing it.
fuck
Yeah, I
that-
like, and I think if anyone would disagree or think differently, it would be an Australian who's a fan of Hunter.
Right,
But
that's why I asked.
That's me, and I'm like, fuck, mate, go it, do more,
Right.
because I think it's great for Hayden and for his fans, but it's also great for Hunter because that's going to add some
Fire.
fuel to the fire. And I'm gonna go out on a limb here, but I'm gonna say you're gonna see a pretty fired up, aggressive, not aggressive in a bad way, but aggressive riding from Hunter.
Fired up
and
for sure.
I think as a fan and for all the other fans, I think it's just gonna make the rest of this motocross championship fucking interesting.
Well, and think about it. Like how I see it is, look at every other sport, right? Obviously, I always fucking, drop back to like MMA or UFC or whatever. But, anytime there's two dudes that really don't like each other and they're about to fight, makes it 10 times more entertaining
100%,
to
and
watch.
that's what gets everyone pumped. It's sometimes like
entertainment
the
business.
build up to a fight is almost sometimes more interesting than the
Than the
fight.
fight
It is.
itself, right?
Because the fight may last 15 seconds sometimes, but the build up goes over a number of weeks, and like you're
Exactly.
so pumped to see it.
And
But-
that happens in other sports too, right? Like there's, American football
Yeah, for
games
sure.
where there's two dudes on a team that get into it or don't like each other,
Yeah.
and you might be more willing to watch that game because you want to see what happens between those two.
Yeah, for
To
sure.
where what Hayden is doing is kind of building that. Like him talking a little bit. It's not even talking shit, but it's just like stirring that pot with
Yeah,
Hunter.
I think-
And like what you said, it's making Hunter like, there's no way Hunter sees that and isn't
doesn't
like,
get fired up.
I'm fucking
and I
coming
think
in
it's
this weekend.
to be honest, I think it's good for Hunter because like we said, he's going to be fired up, and I don't, the keyboard warriors that say that he's talking shit. I don't see how winning a moto, winning two motos, and then going up on the podium and saying something like that's not talking shit. That's
No.
just
If he
stating-
went up there and was like,
Just
Hunter's a fucking pussy.
yeah,
and
or
like,
if he had gone up and said, oh, like I barely even tried, like I was just
Yeah.
cruising around, like that was
Yeah.
too easy. That's talking shit. But
Exactly.
going up there and being confident and going like, yeah, I was fucking
laying it down.
I think he.
yeah.
That's what I thought too. I honestly thought that it was one of the sickest interviews.
Yeah, no, it was
I
mad.
thought this weekend for moto interviews
That was sick.
like
Yeah.
game changing, like
For sure.
elevating the level of how good some of these dudes actually have become on a mic, because
For sure, man.
motocross has been known as a thing where like nobody's good on a mic.
No
Yeah.
personality.
And that's what even like I told Colby, I pulled Colby off to the side after he won his quarter pipe gold medal, and I was just like, dude, like, and Colby and I haven't had the greatest past. Like, Colby and I have kind of just gotten close and became good friends within the last year or so, I would say.
Yeah.
And I pulled him off to the side and I was like, dude, I'm so fucking happy and proud of you because, I remember Colby when you put a mic in his face or put him on camera and the motherfucker couldn't talk.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, he
he's
just wasn't used to it.
he just
never
just
been
wasn't
around
his
it.
world, right?
Yeah.
And, he came off as a little rough, a little rugged. And now the motherfucker, like,
Yeah, he's unreal.
he's that dude that if you leave the last jump up to him,
Yeah, I
you
know.
might as well take your silver. Like, it
Yeah.
sucks.
You don't
Yeah.
want him to go last.
No,
I know.
because like
Yeah.
Corey went so fucking high that last jump
Yeah.
that he did.
Dude,
and
gnarly.
then we sat here
I didn't
a year
think it would
ago.
get higher. I did not.
We sat here a year ago having the same conversation
Mm-hmm.
where we said Axel went so fucking high.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
we did not think that there's any way Colby could pull it off.
He'll put it all on the line, man. Like
And
it's,
Colby will put it all on the line. I've heard him personally say he's willing to die to fucking to win that
to
shit.
win that.
And
Yeah,
he's
I mean,
one
you can,
dude that
you can
really
see
is.
you can see that in his riding. And I mean, that's another thing which I find it's awesome. Like the fact that to see people that want it that bad. I mean, we're all the same. We all want to do that, but that's where I think that being able to see someone's character, their personality, it's important. It's important for the sport and the fans. So, I'm not promoting people to be, hating their competitors or whatever. But
Yeah.
I think,
But
at the end of
be
the day,
personable.
it's good to you do have that emotion, and there's certain people out there that I don't like.
right.
And I think it's only healthy. You're competing against each other.
Absolutely.
Could be your best mate out there, but you still want to fucking beat him. Like it's
Absolutely.
as simple as that.
It should be more of an envy.
Yeah,
Like,
but
hey, I
mean,
respect you, but I'm better
Yeah.
than you, or I want to beat you. Or
because everyone always talks about the Jason Lawrence days, and everyone will agree with me, and that we all think it was unreal. It was mad.
It was
It was
the best.
awesome, and everyone says things like bring J Law back, but then
when
Hayden,
somebody comes out and says something,
Hayden Deegan does
or
something.
does a J-Law thing.
Yeah, Hayden Deegan does something that's very minute compared to J-Law.
Absolutely.
Like something super small and wasn't talking shit. And then you got these these dudes like Steve Mathis who probably don't know how to ride a dirt bike to save their life, but they're got to jump on and be, oh, this is this and it's not good. It's like, sit back in your chair, mate. Do your fucking whatever it is that you do, and you just let these guys are professional athletes. Yeah. You let them do what they want to do, because at the end of the day, they're the ones that are getting up on Monday morning and cycling in the heat and doing the gym and training. You can just sit back and you don't have the same emotion or attachment to them and the money on the line and everything. So, mate, let them have it. Bring it back. Bring back
Absolutely.
the beef. I love it.
Yeah,
that's where
it makes the sport interesting.
I love it.
It would grow it if there's more of it.
For sure.
Yeah, this X Games was, I honestly think it was huge for the sport. Like,
yeah.
And like what I was saying before, like Colby, like his interview was fucking awesome. It gave me goosebumps. He got on. He thanked everybody for coming to Ventura. He
thanked the other competitors too, which was cool.
He thanked the other competitors. He thanked Corey Creed for pushing him as hard as he did. Like,
for sure.
Afterwards, I was just like, "Fuck, dude, you're a superstar now."
Yeah.
Like, there's a day that you could barely talk on a mic. Now you're a fucking superstar.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It is cool to see, and I think it's really good that he took that time to thank the other competitors.
Absolutely.
Obviously, we all thank the fans, because without them, it doesn't happen. But I think it's pretty important, and I think it's cool that he did thank the competitors, because if it wasn't for Corey Creed fucking boosting it like he did, Colby wouldn't have gone that high either.
No.
They're both neck and neck, and they're both pushing each other to be the best. If Corey had gone, 5 or 6 feet lower, then Colby's final run probably wouldn't have been that high. So, and he knows that, and they both do. So they're both actually pushing each other to be better and better. So I think it's pretty cool. And I mean, it's the same with best trick and even best whip. Like there was 5 people in best trick that could have won. So, I mean, the level of riding this year has really rose a lot, and I think next year is going to be even more wild, because I'm coming back with something big next year, and I know everyone else has the same mindset, and same as Colby and Creed and Axel will be back next year. They're all going big.
So of course 2 out of 3 cameras die. That's usually how it goes on this whole deal. But pretty much wrapped up what we wanted to get through with you, Jayo. When do you go back home?
So I'm going to be here for another probably 2 weeks, roughly. So I'm leaving California tomorrow.
That's not sick.
I'm not pumped.
I'm going to start the big drive back to Maryland. So I've got like 42 hours or something. But I kind of don't have much of a game plan when I'm there. But I'm going to be taking back a Stark Varg electric bike with me. So I've definitely got some ideas and things I want to do with that. So could be here another few weeks, hopefully. But then I'll be back here in October. I've got some more things going on there, some other events and some big shit to do. So, yeah, man, I'm excited.
Well, we hope to follow your path with whatever the fuck you have planned next, because I'm sure it's going to be hectic and chaotic. And
for sure. Nah, thank you. And thanks for having me on. It's always good to catch up. It was good getting dinner last night.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fucking getting you out there, you cripple. But you're doing really well, actually, considering the injuries you had. But
yeah, it's funny because I, not to sit here and
toot your own horn.
Well, not
there we go.
I'm like so sick of talking about it with everybody, but it's funny when I like get with people like you guys, or like, people who know how to hit a ramp. Like, most of my friends are fucking best whip guys, or best trick guys, or
people that
guys that are really good on ramps. So like,
shit,
it's funny when I talk to you guys about it, because all my friends that are good watch that video of my crash and they're like, "You were so close to getting out of it. Like, you were so close to it not being bad." I
watched the video like fucking 8 or 10 times over and over, and I'm like, I didn't think you were crashing. Even when your wheels had touched the ground on the landing, and I'm like, it kind of blew my mind as to how that happened. But that's fucking dirt bikes. They're gnarly, and sometimes you just don't know what's going to happen. And one thing that I've learned is, like, there's times where you have a massive, crazy crash, and you get up and you fucking dust yourself off. And you're like, oh.
Yeah.
But then there's times where you can catch your ankle or your foot in a rut and blow out your knee, or you can like, the crash that you had was like, it looked like everything was fine until it wasn't. But and then the amount of injuries that you come out with. So, but I mean, that's why dirt bikes are fucking gnarly. You just kind of never know what's coming for you. So you gotta stay sharp. But
and that's exactly what it is. Like I hit that thing all day totally fine.
Yeah.
And then, I'm on the side now of, I'm pretty sure I just didn't pull the clutch in all the way and stabbed the back brake too much, and because the bike shut off. So that's why at the very end, you see my front end drop, and it's also, I couldn't, I was fighting momentum so hard. Yeah,
for sure.
That it just fucking pile drove me.
I think it was what I could pick from that would be if you stalled the bike in the air, which I've done before. I've done it in backflips before, and stalled the engine, and it will come around and land, and it will bump start as you go. It's definitely not ideal, but I think in that case, I think it would be just like you've got forward momentum landing off a 75-foot jump, but the motorcycle doesn't. Right. And I think it's just the body position not being ready. If you you obviously didn't expect it, so
not at all.
But if you had landed, if you were planning to land like that, right, you could have. If you landed in a really braced, strong position, I think it would have been okay. But it's one of those things you never know. When you crash or when there's something that's going wrong, you have like a fucking split second, and you can't always you're not always ready for that sort of thing. But
and I also
think it was just that body position that kind of took you forward. But
and I think it being at the end of the day,
you probably
I was a little lazy. I was a little
and you were used to it, and you're like, oh, I got it. Like,
I wasn't taking it as serious as I was in the beginning.
And that's
like
it's one thing when you start jumping ramps. You've really got to know sometimes when you've had enough for the day. You might be feeling unreal, but if you're like a little bit mentally tired, or you're not as sharp, that's kind of when you got to go, all right, I've had a good day.
And I think that's where I was, but I was having so much fun that I didn't know when to quit.
And I've learned that so many times. When I first started flipping 75 feet, I was 14. And I went out to one of my buddies'
29. Just learned how to hit a 75
I went out to one of my friends' houses one day, and I was still pretty new to flipping 75 feet, and I wanted to I just wanted to keep going and going, just do as many as I could. I just wanted to get my reps up. So because I remember I counted my first 100 flips, like a lot of freestyle riders do, but I just wanted to keep going and going and going. And it was the end of the day, and same thing. I was tired and was probably not focusing as much, and I just pulled too late, and I just did a big old floater, and I jumped off completely upside down to a dirt landing.
Oh man!
It was probably still to this day one of the gnarliest crashes I've ever had. The bike was completely busted. Like the shock shaft, it pulled the nut off the thread, and the shock shaft, so the shock fell out the bottom of the bike. It bent everything it could bend, and I just got up, and I was sore, but I just got up and drove home with my buddy. Fuck. I didn't have my license yet. I was only young, but it's the same thing, man. And then from that time onwards, I still made the same fuck up a bunch of times when you're overdoing it and riding too much or whatever when you're tired. But it's definitely one thing you learn over the years is like you've got to know when to call it a day sometimes. 100%. But the only way you can learn that is by doing it, unfortunately.
Exactly. And that's where I figure like all is good. Like
you live to fight another day.
Yeah, like I learned. It sucks that I had to go through it to learn it, but I learned so much from that. Yeah, and a lot of it is like what you just said, just kind of like just for sure. Taking it more serious and not getting lazy with it, and also kind of knowing like, all right, we had a good day, call it.
Yeah, for sure,
like,
man.
Shout out to Bo Dirt and Ripper Ray and all the guys that were down there that helped me. Like they made the whole situation a lot. All my buddies made the whole thing a lot better.
Yeah, because man, it's not easy breaking a femur and all the other injuries. Like
I did femur, hip dislocated, and broke the shoulder. So when it happened, all I knew was the shoulder. The shoulder was so bad that I didn't even know my hip or leg were broke.
Yeah, that's fucking wild.
Ripper Ray, I remember him coming over to me and he's like, something I can't remember what he said, but something along the lines of like, how does your hip feel? he's like, it's out really bad.
Oh.
And I was like, dude, I can't even fucking feel my hip.
My shoulder.
My shoulder's so fucked. I just need something.
Like, I'm glad you could feel your shoulder instead of your hip or femur.
Yeah.
Because that pain's
That's
fucking,
way
I've heard
worse.
the femur pain is pretty excruciating. which
Yeah,
I
it's fucking
didn't-
it's wild.
Lucky enough, I really didn't have to deal with that.
Yeah, no,
much.
that's good. That's great because it's yeah, it sucks.
Yeah,
And-
but I hate like it. It was such a fucked up deal because like my chick obviously panicked.
Yeah.
You know, we have a 1-year-old. I just got hurt last year, right at the same time.
Yeah.
So I definitely wanted to, mention on this while I have the opportunity. My chick started like a GoFundMe thing right after it happened while I was in the hospital, and I'm definitely not a huge fan of that whole thing. I had never used it or been in a situation where I needed it.
Yeah.
But I will say her setting that up definitely saved me. Like, I fucking appreciate every single person that donated to it. And weirdly enough, I had a bunch of people that donated. I totally figured everybody just thought I was a huge asshole. And we're like, fucking, we'll leave that dude die. But I fucking love everybody that, and I went through the list. I've seen everybody that's donated. So now I'll definitely see that whole thing a little bit different. Like if there's, if I know somebody that gets hurt and there's a GoFundMe, I'm definitely going to partake
Do what
in
you
it.
can.
Fuck yeah. Like it was.
Nah, it's cool, man.
It
And
literally saved me on like not losing my house.
yeah. Nah, I mean, it's cool. And that's one good
The
thing.
moto
about-
community's fucking dope.
Yeah.
Like
That's what I was going to say. Like we're pretty fucking lucky. We're all pretty tight. And I think everyone's got each other's back no matter what. Even the people that you might not have thought have your back, they got your back. So
Dude, yeah, like in
what goes around comes around as well. I'm sure you've helped a lot of people in the past, and unless you're a dickhead, you don't forget who has helped you. So
absolutely.
but no, that's cool, and I'm stoked that
like
you
I
had some
seen
people help you out.
I seen Twitch helped you or something at X Games.
Yeah, with a steering damper. Yeah,
Is that what?
Yeah.
Like that dude's such a fucking legend. Like he donated a good amount of money to my thing that he did not need to.
Yeah.
And
No, that's awesome, man. And that
he's just one. Like I've seen and heard people say just like absurd shit about him. Like I've read people say on Instagram like
people that don't know shit.
this
that
dude's a
haven't been-
fucking asshole. He's not not somebody I want my kids to look up to. You guys are fucking idiots that say that because that is like who I want my kids to look up to.
Yeah,
like,
for sure. I mean, you're always gonna have those people that say shit, and at the end of the day, they're people that, for a start, they've never met him. Definitely,
and that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like if they've met him once, I guarantee they would
change their whole opinion.
It would change their whole opinion
for sure. But unfortunately that's the world we live in now. There's so many dickheads. Like even after X Games, I had a few messages. I don't check messages, but I think it popped up on my watch, so I just happened to read it. And it was some dude saying that you're a fucking pussy. You're a fucking pussy loser. When there's a hard landing, there's no triple flip to be seen. And I'm just like, I couldn't help but fucking click on his profile and have a look at him. And
he's got like 59 followers.
Follows
Yeah.
5,000.
And
But
his
I'm like-
photo is a picture of him kissing a fucking cat.
yeah,
or something.
but I'm like,
Holding up a fish.
I felt like saying, like, listen here, mate. Like, I've had a pretty good fucking day. I'm happy. We've all made it out of there in one piece. We've all done some pretty cool shit. You're at home doing whatever you're doing, but what makes you think that anyone competing in that competition is a pussy?
Right.
And I said, if you knew what you were fucking talking about, the reason I didn't do a triple backflip is because there was no ramp that would come anywhere near close to getting you a triple backflip.
Yeah.
Do you think, you know what I mean? And I was
Hey,
like,
and you
what
know
the
what's
fuck's
funny?
wrong with these people?
As if that dude was standing face to face to you, I guarantee he wouldn't say anything.
Nah,
along
he
the
probably would've
lines
shook
of
my
that.
He
hand.
probably would have and said, "You're so
Yeah,
amazing."
he would have said you did a
Yeah.
good job. But I'm like, what the fuck?
funny how
why
that
do,
works.
Why do people, what do they get out of that, you know? Because then I wrote something back along the lines of what I just said. And I just said, mate, you're a fucking idiot. Like, stick to doing whatever you do. If you don't like it, who cares?
Just don't even comment.
Yeah, and he
Especially to go out of your way and say something like so.
Yeah.
you're a fucking pussy. I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was funny because he wrote back, haha, you're so triggered from this. I win, you lose. And I'm like, so that's what they get out of it.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
I'm
If
like,
that's your
fuck.
version of winning, then you take it, dog.
Yeah,
You
I'm
should have
like-
said, I'm surprised you get service in your mom's basement.
Yeah, right.
Man, I'm like, but anyway, that's just fucking
Yeah.
how it is. But you got to have some fuckwits like that because it gives us something to talk about.
Yeah,
you know?
it's
Like,
fun.
sometimes it gives you a little, it gives me a little bit of a fucking, it gets me a bit of cunt in me, so I can.
Right.
It gives me a bit more focus to keep going. I'm like, fuck these.
If you want to
guys.
try
Yeah.
a big trick and you're scared, you're like, I'm not a pussy. I'm going to show you.
Yeah.
I'm going to show that fucking
I'm going to show him a quad flip, motherfucker.
3x4 fucking BBB
Yeah.
on Instagram. I'm going to show him I'm not a pussy.
It's like just quickly I'll mention there's a young Australian fella that his name's Ned Brockman, and he ran all the way across Australia, like from one side of the country to the other.
Holy shit.
And
fucking Forrest Gump.
gnarly. Like
Forrest
he
Gump.
beat every fucking record that's ever been done, and like he ran 100 kilometers a day for 40 days. I don't know, 40, like fucking wild. Like he ran in miles, it might be like fucking 4,000 miles or something
Holy
Yeah.
fuck.
in a month or whatever. And but to get back to like the haters and stuff, I was listening to a podcast with him the other day, and he as he was preparing for this, he still was just working on his normal job. I think he was a electrician, and he'd come home from work and then he'd run 100 Ks every afternoon after work in prep. But he had in his bedroom, he had a hate wall, so he had all these things up on this wall, and it was like, it might have been a fucking message that someone sent him on Instagram, and he'd print it out and put it on the wall, and it was all the dickheads and people that had doubted him or you know, hung shit on him and put him down. And he had his fucking hate wall, and every day he'd get home and we'd finish work, and before he'd go on his run, he'd look at his hate wall and he'd just get fucking pumped up.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck, maybe we all need to incorporate a hate wall.
Yeah.
I think that's better than a vision board.
I used to have, I think we might have touched on this last podcast we did, but certain someone that moved the ramp, changed the ramp during the show without telling me, he moved it 20 feet, and I broke my neck. And
Yeah.
anyhow, he's now suing me for $100,000. So I got federal police trying to, I got like a warrant for my arrest in Australia at the moment because I'm here, and I apparently owe him $100,000, which I don't have. But anyway, I didn't have a hate wall, but I had a boxing bag, and I'd printed out a photo of this dude's head, and I like clear sticky taped it to a boxing bag. And this is just after I broke my neck. When I got out of my neck brace, I was like 19, and I used to just punch this thing with his face on it. So
Just until it's fucking all holy.
Until
And
your hands start bleeding.
until I got I got knuckles like this. But
there's blood on the dude's picture. Of his
I'd be
face.
just going through sheets of paper each day because he smacked that thing a few times and it's busted. And he'd print out another one. But yeah, I think we all might need to incorporate a hate wall onto our house or our
Have you
garage.
seen what
or
Jared
whatever.
McNeil does?
Yeah,
He takes all of his
it's
his
funny.
hate comments
Yeah,
and
it's
like
funny.
puts them behind like a
He
funny
puts
song.
really calm
That's
music
funny.
to it. Yeah. That's
like
fucking
super
funny.
calm, chilling
That's
music,
funny.
and it's like
Yeah.
you're an absolute disgrace as a father.
Yeah,
like,
all that
You
shit.
should fucking kill yourself. Like
Yeah.
crazy shit.
Yeah, some pretty
Damn.
fucked up people out there, but
That's funny.
well, fuck them.
Enjoy yourself.
Yeah, enjoy
Enjoy your miserable life.
fucking sitting at home patting your cat when there's people out here who are
Doing triple backflips.
or
on
just
a
who are
double.
having a go, you know, whether they're
Living
doing,
life.
whether they're doing a fucking kickflip or a double backflip or whatever, they're at least having to go. They're trying to push themselves, opposed to sitting on the couch eating out of a tub of ice cream, fucking
Yeah.
on Instagram, like
Just
fucking.
talking
I do that every
yeah,
night, dude.
have
Come
a
on.
go. I mean, I do that.
I
too,
mean,
but
I
I
I'm
don't
saying,
talk
hey,
shit. I
Yeah.
just eat my ice cream on the couch at night.
I do be doing that. Sometimes I do like to have a little pint of fucking something and go on Instagram and just talk shit.
Right?
But fucking good times.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was fucking sick having you.
Good to be here. Thanks, boys. And yeah, if you don't follow me on Instagram, jump on board to don't have to follow me, but at least jump on
Fucking
board.
give
to,
him a follow.
Nah, I
Give
don't
him a
have to. I'm not one of those fucking like, subscribe, but just at some point jump on board and follow my journey because I'm gonna in the next little bit there's gonna be some pretty cool shit happening on a dirt bike or an electric bike or something. But yeah. If you're interested in that kind of thing, fucking jump on because I'm keen to shoot for the stars and keep going mad. And I think I feel as if my career's only just started last week, really.
Yeah.
Although I've been around for a while because I started riding freestyle at a young age, but I feel like I'm only just sort of getting to a point now where I can be a professional rider. So I'm now starting my career. So next few years, I'm going to be going fucking mad.
What's your Instagram for the people that don't
It's just
follow you?
at Jayo Archer. So Jayo Archer. Get on there. Or don't. Doesn't bother me. But follow
Get
if
on
you
there,
like to.
fuck off.
Yeah.
All right, brother.
See
We
you, cunts.
appreciate having you, and get home safe.
Thank
and
you.
We'll be following the journey.
Fucking oath. Thanks, boys.
All right.
Cheers, buddy.
All right, get the fuck out. I'm just kidding. I should use the